Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome back for week number 4 of the ECAC Top 8 Plays of the Week. Now, at this point, you're probably realizing two things. One, that's right, I'm going to be with you all season long as we jump through the best moments of every week. And number two, wow, Septilence really only wears one thing when he's not on the clock. And I can't even defend myself, it's a comfortable outfit. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump into week number 4 and see what these players brought to the table to beat out their opponents and be victorious. Wake Forest was already up a game, there were 4 minutes left on the clock, and they just couldn't find that first point to take the lead and put them up 2-0 in the series. But in a final moment of success, Malone clears it from one coast to another and finds an open goal, giving Wake Forest the lead once again.
These Champ 3 and Champ 2 is doing. I mean, seriously, look at Malone making advantages for himself.
Wow.
And he will put Wake Forest on the map. This game number 5 could just go their way.
I just want to say Malone just said, I'm going to show you what a Champ 3 can do. All right, buddy?
On a control map in Overwatch, your team must capture 100% of a point to succeed. 99 just won't cut it. King Rock from Keene University was fully aware of that and didn't just find a Death Blossom. He found a full-blown Death Garden to keep his team alive.
Sound barrier to go away as well, especially now that you have your own. It's going to be a little bit more breathing room. Doesn't look like the Winneco. Okay, there we are. Now it's coming up big. This Reaper has bloomed.
That was just gorgeous amount of patience coming.
GVSU Blue found themselves up by 5 rounds, and it's always better to turn that 5 into a 6. It's incredible, however, that this team doesn't always need all 5. It can come down to just one player and how much they can really GVS do.
An Illusion delivers with efficiency. 3 in a row. No time left, even if they had the chance at Orbital Strike out of the last.
This battle between Muskingum and St. Francis was insanely close. Only 3 players in a round, and there were 1 player left on both sides, both down to their final stock. Things were looking pretty strong for St. Francis, their Luigi only at 40%, but it was up to Splat to do anything but.
Just keep him off stage with that Zare. Oh,
If
that spot right here for Teo.
If that block didn't disappear,
Oh,
no way.
Oh, just steps on the
pressure plate.
A tale as old as time, Pace White versus Pace Gold, and Pace White's morale was through the roof as they won a fight, but little did they know, this was Lofi's world, and they wouldn't be living in it for much longer.
Going in with the blade.
Uh-oh, Blade is out. It's hacked. It doesn't matter, though. Slashes away for 2. Looking for a 3rd. Looking for 4. Won't get it just yet on the Blade. However, the slash and dash works out. Lofi's got 3. Looking for everybody else on this team. It's a white.
The Inkling versus Ganondorf matchup is not very good for Ganondorf, but let's be honest, which matchups are? In this clip we're going to be watching as JD from Fisher learns the hard way that you never really want to meet an Inkling off stage.
Sooner if you don't find that kill confirm or that kill or a bomb off stage like that.
That bomb angle
guarding is so good.
We're at the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup. Let's make some noise.
Oh, and it's
going to
jumped into
it.
This corner judge is good for 1, 2, dip. He needs more.
They're doing even more here. You gotta touch the point. Mr. College walks it in. Toy Boy is gonna drop.
Knife him.
Right out in front.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1, running.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Esports U Network. I'm your host, once again, Paulie Hype, as I'm bringing to you all the action this week in college esports. Tonight, we have some amazing matches for you. At 7 p.m., we'll have matches from the NJCAAE conference. That'll be in the game Rocket League. It's going to be Mineral Area College versus Northern Virginia Community College. At 8 p.m., we'll see some ECAC Super Smash Bros. Ultimate action, and that'll be Emory and Henry versus Central Maine Community College. But, however, before I can send it over to the casters for this evening, let's take a quick recap at what we saw last week to round out Friday. It was ECAC League of Legends Week 2, Pace University versus University at Albany. Both Pace and UAlbany had dominant victories last week, and the question would be, who would come out on top in week number 2? Our first game on the Rift felt like it was a nonstop fight as we had chaotic team fights every couple minutes or so, but the action was intense. UAlbany were the ones that kept on coming on top. Even when they were behind, Pace kept on fighting back against UAlbany, getting 1 or 2 kills before eventually falling to UAlbany's might in game 1. In game number 2, UAlbany had a particularly interesting composition with 3 ADCs, so getting a little bit cocky there, which worked out quite well for them, however, since they just outranged Pace. Similar to the first game, Pace kept on trying to fight back, but UAlbany was outpacing them every interval, even until the end of the Nexus. UAlbany took that one 2-0 as they dominate Pace there in ECAC League of Legends Week 2. Well, that's the action as we kick off here in this new week of Esports U college gameplay, which I'm so excited for. We're going over to the NJCAAE for some Rocket League. And right now we have Trippin and Whoops U waiting on standby for the game's call. Guys, over to you.
Thank you very much for that, Paul. We appreciate that update for things around the Esports U. My name is Whoops U, and joining alongside of me for today's action is going to be my good friend Trippin. And Trippin, we have ourselves some Week 1 action here in the NJCAAE. And the first game here is going to be Mineral Area College taking on Northern Virginia Community College.
Yeah, we got 2 junior colleges going head-to-head in this best-of-5 matchup. Whoops, excited to see what both these teams have to offer. As you said, early season, little action, not a whole lot that we know about, but this is a great time to kind of make your stand, to really set the tone for how the rest of the season is going to go. You come out of week number 1 with a big, dominating win. That gives you that momentum going into the season, and as you as well as I know, in a lot of these esports titles, momentum is everything.
Indeed it is. I agree with you on that one, Trippin, but you cannot let this week number 1 decide the future of the rest of your season. You kind of take it with a grain of salt because, sometimes it gets a little bit nervy out there. Sometimes it just might take a couple of games for you to get it warmed up at the right appropriate time. But this is a best-of-5 matchup. The teams are ready to go. It appears as though the game is ready as well. So good luck to both sides.
We're going to jump on in here. 5 fresh minutes on the clock. 0-0 scoreline with Tippy Expire and Farles taking on C. Mertz, Guipi Now, and Ultor. On the other side, a quick shot on target early on here will go wide. Lots of early pressure here coming out of Northern Virginia.
Yeah, Northern Virginia is looking really, really good so far, but now they're backed up into their half, so they have to be careful. Mineral Area has a lot of resources to work with, a lot of boosts, and on top of that, a ton of pressure. So NVCC needs to hang on here and kind of get this ball over back towards the blue half of the field.
I'll like that pass right in front of the net, denied by Ultor. Seamertz will take it, finding Ultor at midfield, not able to connect on the one-timer pass. Out to midfield, Expire will take it on the ceiling, challenged by Guipi Now. Looking for a read on backboard. Do they have it? They have it, but it's saved by Farles. A great opportunity there, and that's going to be a little bit of a double commit now from NVCC, and here comes Mac on the run the other way.
Yeah, huge counterattack opportunity right there for Farles, but once again, covered up by that NVCC defense. The clean rotation through the middle of the field there really kept that one out for Mineral Area to score on that one. So unfortunate missed opportunity right there for Mac to score, but once again, still keeping this pressure on to NVCC, and a little bit of just miscommunication out here is going to lead to an open net opportunity. That one's going to be saved away as well. Farles going to pop it into the corner and pretty much towards midfield, Trippin.
Mac had another great opportunity out at midfield. We're not able to connect. NVCC has one of their own as well. It's just bounced it around in front of the net. The angle is there. A dunk on the goal line. That one's saved as well. And Farls will slow things down with 22 boosts. There's the outlet pass to Expire. It gets accelerated by the opposing team. It's in front of the net and cleared away again. And whoops, this game so far has just been a bit of a tease. Consistently right in front of the net. Consistently almost a great highlight reel play. Neither team able to connect.
Yeah, it's just been unfortunate that neither team has been willing to cross the finish line just yet, but I mean, either it's been an offensive mistake, a defensive mistake. It's been so close, but C. Mertz is going to go ahead and shut me up. He's going to go score first for NVCC and put them up early.
And there is that passing attack yet again. Both teams have tried this a couple different times, and it's never worked out. The connection was never there. That time it is. A nice 1-0 lead here at 3:05 for Northern Virginia.
Still not done just yet. Still 3 minutes remaining in this ball game. But here comes Ultor, going to score as well. Another goal for NVCC. This one's off of the kickoff, though.
Yeah, and this is just a collection of very awkward bounces. No read for Expire, high up into the corner, and then that perfect bounce out of the corner. Whoops, I know you and I have played this game for a long time. I still don't understand how that corner works.
Yeah, nobody knows how the corner works. We all just kind of guess and throw our cars into the corner and hope for the best, I would kind of say. But irregardless, Mineral Area needs to get this ball off of their half of the field because we've seen some nonstop pressure, nonstop offense as well from NVCC. They've been pushing the envelope so far into the blue half of the majority of this game, and it was only a matter of time before, you know, somebody crossed the finish line with a goal here. It's just been NVCC with 2 of these goals here, Trippin.
Yeah, now Mac is really fighting to get out of their own half, and they haven't been able to do it yet. Those clears keep getting cut off. The pressure keeps getting pushed. Expire, a great clear now, looking for fouls. Has them. There's the flick over the top. Guipi now will be in the net. They will make the save. Tippy will come up. There's a double commit offensively. Mac retreating into their own corner, and it's all in the back of Expires. 18 boost off the ceiling to get this one clear, and a phenomenal play to get that pressure out.
Yeah, on top of that, extending the play over into the corner as well, keeping the defense at bay and pushed over, but it was only short-lived because I tell you what, Wheatme now had other plans for that when he brought that one right back over towards the blue half of the field, and now they're starting to put some pressure onto the back of the net as well. Tippy's going to go ahead and save that one away and keep NVCC up by 2.
It's going to be Farls at midfield. I don't know if they got that boost collected. I don't think that they did. It looks like they're retreating back with 0. Expire, a couple demos coming out, getting Expire. Now Gweep looking for Seamer. It's on the pre-jump. They have the pinch. It'll be well off target. Expire will clear this one off the backboard. Into the final 90 seconds of the game here. Another pass across the midfield looking for Mertz. And if you're Mac right now, you got to start stopping those passes before they start, as Gweep now buries a third.
Yeah, if you're Mac right now, you also have to start just extending some of these plays here. Tippy paying the ultimate price. Ultor pretty much getting the demolition onto that one. Iguiti now just taking advantage of that rotation from Mac, but at the same time, it was just so much pressure from NVCC, and they're controlling this midfield line here, Trippin, that basically it doesn't matter if you even get this one away onto their side of the field. They just scoop it right back up and bring it right back towards the blue half.
Yeah, they'll push you with that pressure, and they will make you pay for your defensive mistakes, whether they end up scoring the goal or they just get a demo, as they do here again. That's got to be their 7th or 8th registered demo in this game, the way things have been going, and it has really just stifled any attack that this Mineral Area College team could have possibly had. They haven't gotten those opportunities back. Here's another great passing play. This one going between all 3 members of the squad. Northern Virginia not able to connect on that opportunity. Wheatley now looking to read off backboard, saving some boost, dropping down low, finds C. Mertz on the goal line, 4-0. A very dominating performance here, Whoops.
Yeah, that's just a great play right here from the Nighthawks, using all 3 members on the offensive end of the field. And, you know, why not? It's short time, 36 seconds left. You're already up by 3. Why not go for some of these eagle plays? You went up the right side with a nice pass, then on top of that, backboard pass, and then you finally solidified it all with the 3rd member of your roster and pushed it through for a 4-0 lead. Only 30 seconds left now, and if you're Mac, you have to start, you know, thinking into game number 2 here. What can we do? How can we approach this game a little bit differently so NVCC won't have this much pressure?
Yeah, that's what I've said about a lot of games in the past, especially when you have a game 1 that goes like this. It's not necessarily about who takes game 1. It's about who can make the better adjustments going into game number 2. And I think right now, all the adjustments and all the questions are on that Mineral Area College Cardinals team, as that one will not go in either. NVCC, a very convincing game number 1 win. And whoops, there's a lot to work on as they move into game 2.
Yeah, a bunch to work on, especially the early moments of the game where basically Mac had a couple of shots towards the net and then just somehow, some way stayed out as well. And then NVCC just looked like the more dominating team this whole entire first game, with basically coming with so much pressure. 14 shots in total towards the Mac defense. Mac only saved away 7 of those shots, so half of them, pretty much connecting or even putting so much pressure onto that defense. We spent a majority of this game number 1 right here on the blue half of the field, Trippin.
Yeah, I mean, I think the shot totals could kind of maybe give you an indication of that. We just got a good opportunity to see what, those stats were for that last game. 14 shots for Northern Virginia, a whopping 1 for Mineral Area College. I know we're talking in the green room about how this game works, and typically, the team with more goals ends up winning more of the games. Well, you can't score if you don't shoot. Got to see a little bit more of that out of matches. Anything to relieve that pressure. Even if your shot is way off target, if you're just tossing it at the backboard and forcing them to do something, that'll be an improvement.
Yeah, and on top of that, it backs up the defense and starts the rotation too. A lot of people start the suffocation defense as well, I like to call it, where they start to steal the boost and control the boost pads, and eventually something is going to crack for that defense. First shot, though, coming from Mac. It's going to be a really, really good shot on target. And once again, that's exactly what they need to do.
Yeah, they need to hold that pressure now at midfield. There's a demo in the net, but Expire is not able to get the ball to go towards the target. Wheatley now high up in the air. Tippy on side wall, slowing this one down a bit. I think this pressure, the way that I'm watching this MAC team play defense, they seem a little bit far away from the play, a little bit far away from the ball at the most critical moments, and that's what's allowing Northern Virginia to break out of their own half so quickly, so easily. There's one on target. There's a back foot. Wheatley right there, dunked by Expire.
No, great save as well from Mac to stand so tall, but this is exactly what happened in that game number 1 as well, where we saw that defense just standing so tall in the first initial moments, and basically NVCC came through. They scored 4 goals off of it, but we're starting to see a lot more offense over here for Mac. They're starting to wake up a little bit, and they're starting to keep this pressure onto this NVCC defense, but not a lot of respectable shots. That one, 2 back-to-back floaters basically towards the NVCC side of the field, and basically you have the counterattack that's wide open, a little bit too high right there for the Nighthawks to counterattack on. Expires to pop this one into the corner as well. Here comes Ultor. That one, that midfield is going to go ahead and go towards, pretty much the orange side of the half for Mac to try to capitalize on it.
Well, you can't fix everything all at once. Like I said, even if Mac came out and the best that they could do is just get some stuff to go towards the opponent's backboard, I would have considered that a major improvement. I'm seeing this whole game as major improvement right now. There's a flick on target. That's the shot we want to see there from Falls. It gets saved by C. Mertz, who's having to do a little bit of work on backboard. Ultor now will clear it out. 1-on-1 versus Falls. There's the initial save. Expire coming in. Falls on the beat. Here comes a counterattack. C. Mertz will cut it off at midfield. Expire chasing it down. Getting chased for Demo as well. Pass out in front of the net. Tippy's there, but it's wide.
And I like what I've seen right there on the rotation back through. You saw Farrells. He had a chance right there for a far clear. Expire was rotating right back in front of him as well. So the team communication has definitely improved there for Mac, because any other person, especially my teammates, they would have definitely attacked that one going into the corner, and probably would have led to an own goal in that situation. But here comes a breakaway right here from Tippy. He has an open net. Can he get it through? Wheatley now is going to go ahead and say, no, you cannot. The rotation clean enough to keep that one out. And I'm not even sure if anybody even saw Wheatley now in the rotation back through, but this was leading to another chance here for Farrell. It's going to be popped away once again.
Through half this game with no goals so far. Another shot, another save. This one, the shot to Expire, the save to Ultor. Here's the clear out from C. Mertz. I love the way that Northern Virginia looks for those outlet passes on those teammates. They miss another offensive opportunity. Now Tippy's going to boom it for Mac. Go to the back wall for Wheatley now. He'll play it out in front of the net. Falls with some pressure. Still 2 minutes left to go in this game. 0-0 scoreline. Northern Virginia took game number 1. Mac now fighting for their lives here in game number 2 in this week 1 matchup.
Yeah, that first game, especially the second game, is just so much more crucial because now if NVCC even scores a goal, the way that this one's going, that might be enough here in game number 2. And more importantly, going to move them into match point. You see the bump play trying to come out for Gweepy now as well. Expire's not going to fall for it. Has the save, has a double touch off the back wall, a little bit too far to the right-hand side. Some great defense being played as well from NVCC, keeping that one away from a threatening shot, but still a missed opportunity there for Mac.
And they got to get a couple of those to land. I mean, honestly, you could say that commentary about both teams right now. Just got to get something to land in the net. Expire knows that. That one's going to go wide, but Tippy will be in front of the net. They will finally send one home. A little bit of acceleration here from the Northern Virginia squad, but I think that was 100% in no matter what from Tippy.
Yeah, I agree with that one as well. Expire did a heck of a job right there, keeping that ball in play, and on top of that, putting it off the back wall for his teammate Tippy to strike when the iron was hot. Maybe a kickoff goal here, and that might solidify this game number 2 in favor of Mac. Huge kickoff goal opportunity right here, Trippin.
Yeah, this is something you got to be really careful about. I talk about it a lot at all levels of Rocket League. If you're going to make that turn upfield after grabbing that corner boost, you have to be 100% certain your team is going to end up winning that kickoff, because if they don't, that's exactly what you're going to see happen. That net's going to be available to shoot in. A great advantage being taken there by Mac to score that second goal. This is exactly what Northern Virginia did in game number 1. They got an easy goal. They got a kickoff. They got a second one. They made it real difficult to come back, and Falls will save this one off of their own crossbar. That's going to make life difficult too.
Yeah, that's a huge save right there for Falls, because that was going to score with like 45 seconds left in game number 2 here. But at the same time, it was a risky maneuver. It pays off. The rotation back through was not good for Mac. You saw 2 members bumping each other on the rotation back through, so that almost led to a mistake there, but they do survive. Great 50-50 right here at the midfield line as 30 seconds approach. Falls is going to go ahead and win that exchange. Tippy going to go ahead and put that one back towards the orange side. Here comes Expire now, the front runner, the person who has pretty much at the charge the whole time for Mac here in game number 2. Pretty much concedes on that one. And it's popped right back towards midfield. Tippy keeping this ball up in the air off the back wall over into the corner. Some great defense right there from Expire as the final seconds are ticking away. I'm pretty sure that Mineral Area are going to go ahead and win game number 2 and tie up this series.
Yeah, I said after game number 1, what team is going to make the adjustment? Who's going to be able to come out swinging in game number 2? And Mac did everything we needed them to. Whoops. I mean, again, look at the stat line. Doesn't always tell the whole story, but right now it very much does. 3 shots for Northern Virginia in that game to the 10 for Mac. I mean, the 2 teams now are pretty close in shots just in general for this game after the way that went. But, I mean, that just looks so much more clean, so much more well-connected, and really just Mac came out on top and very much outplayed Northern Virginia.
Yeah, not only that, but you look at Expire as well. You know, the 2 assists and the 3 saves, doing things on the offensive end. Like I said, that front runner of this team here in game number 2. Sometimes you don't always have to be, you know, that person that's scoring the goals for your team. You're just setting them up for your team as well. That works out just fine. You know, that number 1 man is just so crucial. But it's huge as well on the rotation back through. 3 saves, you know, keeping everything out. And you think back to that other save too, Trippin, where basically Farrell's kept a huge crucial goal that could have potentially been a momentum swing as well in favor of NVCC there, but ultimately Mac do indeed hang on, and they did exactly what we asked them to, put some pressure on, keep the ball over on the orange half of the field.
Now we'll move on into game 3, all evened up here at 1 apiece. See what both these teams have to offer. Both teams now gotten their feet wet. There's no more feeling out phase. It's all about playing your game and winning confidently. Tippy out to midfield. Wheatley now will cut it off. Looking for a pass out to midfield. A little bit awkward here defensively. That pinch will scream in front of the net. Ultor will regain control. Expire now brings this one out of their own end. There's a great flick. Wheatley now on top of it. And Matt coming out. They looked pretty good on defense. They looked pretty good in transition so far. Whoops, I'm liking this possession game.
Yeah, not only that, but I just saw Expire pretty much take over on the 100-pad boost on the NVC side of the field. It's not going to really mean too much right now, but had they kept that possession over on the orange half of the field, it would have been a huge chance right there for Mac to kind of score. Unfortunately, NVCC do take that one to the blue half of the field, but knocking right back on the door, though, is Mac. They're at the midfield line. Here comes C. Mertz. He's going to try to bring this one through. Expire like a brick wall out there, keeping that one out of dangerous territory. Now here comes the counterattack now. Ultor has to make a decision. Does get the 100 boost. Going into the corner now. Maybe a little bit of a fake right there. Tippy was going up in the air, but Faros puts a shot towards nets. And ultimately going to keep that one away.
I am relatively certain Expire has not lost a 50 in so far in this game. I mean,
I don't think
he
I've
just
seen it.
plowed the ball through 4 different people, just all in a row, one after the other after the other. It doesn't amount to anything, but it just shows what this game has the possibilities to come out and be. Good solo play here will eventually be cut off in the net. Expire with 0 boost. Gonna have to retire to the rotation. Balls will chase it down on the clear side. Voltor bailing out Expire, waiting for that ball to go over the top of their head. And there's that defensive pressure too, Whoops. I said after game number 1, I thought that Mac was maybe a little bit too far away from the play, giving a little bit too much room to NVCC. They've closed that space up real quick.
I mean, yeah, for the most part so far, it's just been, some off-ball defense and some great off-ball defense as well. Neither team really putting any shots that are threatening towards the net because the defense has been keeping the majority of these shooting lanes kind of closed down. As you see, that one was bring up towards the Blues half of the field by Ultor, but Expire pops it right back out of the way. Not even a threatening second touch either from either one of these teams. They're not really trying to risk it at all right now, Trippin. I mean, usually that's what we kind of see. You see somebody overextend, and that's what's going to lead to a goal. But these teams are pretty much playing some perfect defense, and they're waiting for that mistake to kind of happen.
I think you said it right. These teams, especially at this point, when you have these very low-scoring affairs this late in the game, you get a little bit antsy. You start to take a couple of more risks, and you do things that you don't think you otherwise would have. And that's where those mistakes come in. That's where those goals tend to get scored. It's not necessarily an outplay. It's more like a lack of play. And C-Mertz will dish this one down to Ultor. Will find them, and they'll connect. That one is an outplay. That's not a lack of play. That's a great pass to a great shooter who connects for a goal. 1-0 lead here from Northern Virginia.
Yeah, that's just a great advancement upfield and pretty much catches the defense lacking and leaving the net open. But they thought the rotation, Mac thought the rotation from the defense was going to be strong enough to keep that shot out or maybe even an interception. But at the same time, NVCC caught them just sleeping. And Tippy, he had a couple of shots this game so far. He's just put every single shot so far to the right side. Nothing even really registering. But I can think back to a second shot that he had earlier. It was too far to the right side. Speaking of shots, though, NVCC on fire right now. 2 unanswered shots.
All right, Ultor, I see you. I see you. The little high floater tucks it underneath the crossbar. Tight angle. Very nice shot to give the 2-0 lead. And so far in this series, once you start in the lead in a game, they do not relinquish it. Both teams have done that so far in this series. Wheatley now is touch will go into the corner. Expire cannot connect. Ball's getting bumped out of the way in front of the net. Wheatley now will play it to the sidewall as we hit 1:40 left to go here. Game number 3. Big 2-0 lead for NVCC, hunting down match point.
Yeah, pretty much just like a scramble drill just happened in front of the net right now in the blue box. And a nice dunk coming from, oh my goodness, NVCC, courtesy the 3rd goal here. C-Mertz, just a great air dribble, beating the last defender right there for Max and pushing it off the back wall. Ultor just had to just put that one straight through, and he did just that. NVCC up 3-0.
Yeah, 500 points and 3 goals now for Ultor in this game. Whoops, I saw you wearing the hat earlier. Hopefully you've tipped it with the hat trick there. One opportunity on target here for Mac, and that is just about it. It gets cleared out to midfield. Great 50, but Wheatley now looking for Ultor on that dish. Far again. We've seen that play a number of times from the Nighthawk squad. That one does not go in. Hard bounce off the backboard. Wheatley now is there. Falls will cut just in time to make the save. Northern Virginia with this relentless pressure, despite the fact that there's less than a minute and they're up by 3, truly shows that they want to finish this game strong.
8 total shots so far for NVCC, only 1 from Mac.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, that is ridiculous and reminiscent to game number 1 right there as well. We approach 40 seconds left in this ball game. Nice pinch off of the ceiling was Wheatley now. Takeaway at midfield is Expire. This ball, precious seconds just being taken off the clock as some aerial plays come out, but ultimately, once again, just pretty much playing that keep away game. I don't blame NVCC as well as Mac for, kind of dwindling the clock down here in this situation, but NVCC still trying to score another goal here. But how much is too much here, Trippin? That's the question. I'm gonna go ahead and pose to you with 10 seconds left.
I mean, if game one is any sort of indication, I already think we're right about that too much line, because what we saw happen in game number 2 was that MAC rebounded immediately after a 4-0 loss. I mean, they were almost unfazed by it. It was just a game. They could have lost that game by 1 goal after 15 minutes of overtime, and it would have looked exactly the same as losing 4-0 the way that they played. The difference here is, as you mentioned, 11 shots for Northern Virginia and just one for the Mineral Area College squad. I don't understand how this game can go back and forth so much this quick. But I guess sometimes that happens, and this is just one version, if you will, of what you would consider evenly matched.
Yeah, and I want to point out once again, pretty much here for NVCC, Ultor, like you talked about earlier, 3 goals officially in hat trick right here on in this game number 3. But I want to say, MAC did have a lot more shots. They just were off target. And on top of that, NVCC's defense really kept a lot of these passing opportunities. They intercepted those ones and kept them away from a threatening position there for MAC to kind of even do anything. So although there is only 1 registered shot there, think back to those 2 goals I was talking about, the 2 shots that we were talking about. Tippy essentially had 2 of them, just having some issues right there, putting a respectable shot, and pretty much the net was open for Tippy to shoot it, but just could not get it going.
Yeah, that's why I say stats don't tell the whole story. Whoops, you most definitely telling the whole story there of what we just saw in game number 3. We're in game number 4. Match point here for Northern Virginia in this matchup. It is only just a best of 5. There's a double commit there. Defensively, I guess you could call it, from Mineral Area. I don't really know if that was offense or defense, but either way, it doesn't matter. It's in front of their box. Expires, got it clear out to midfield, finds, falls, and a missile. Low 90 on target. Just narrowly misses. There's a great shot. Queepy now will save it. Expire will bounce it on target. Ultor will get the save, and Seamertz will find the clear to midfield.
Yeah, something we kind of didn't talk about either, Trippin, was the fact that it's been pretty much 5 minutes since, Mineral Area scored a goal, but I would probably even say closer to 4 minutes since they even put a respectable shot towards the net, minus that one you just saw that came out of a cannon, apparently, for Mineral Area. But at the same time, they have to play some strong offense. The defense has to be there as well, and that was just poor rotation, maybe even an overcommitment here at the midfield line for MAC.
Yeah, there's only so much you can do in this position as well. I mean, Expire thinks that Ultor is going to be hitting that one right on target or cutting it in front of the net. Instead, it bounces off and then just smashes into Expire's face. It is a perfect pass in front of the box, and just what are you going to do? And of note, as I mentioned last game, neither of these 2 teams has been able to come from behind. I don't even think either of these 2 teams have scored a goal after they've gotten scored on up to this point. So MAC most certainly has a tall task ahead of them to even this one up and force that game 5.
Yeah, I was going to say that as well. They haven't scored a goal the whole entire time. Game number 1 in favor of NVCC 4-0, game number 2 2-0, game number 3 3-0. So whoever scores first, basically the other team just does not score after that. So we have to kind of see if that stays true here in this game number 4. Hopefully Matt can tie this ball game up and either force an overtime or close shot right there from Farrells. The follow-up from Expire going to be too far to the right side as well. 2 back-to-back shots, close as it possibly gets, but still off target here, Trippin.
I'm not going to lie, I saw that play developing right as you were talking about how MAC, are they going to score, are they not going to score? I was going to be like, well, I mean, with plays like that, clearly they're going to score. Like, this has to go in, right? This is a great shot on target. Nope, phenomenal save. Then the squishy comes out. Queepy now throws this one off their own backward, falls, reads it, floats it on target. We will come out, make the save. Tippy with the pressure here for MAC, and I'm not going to lie, this is probably the best that a losing team has looked so far in this series is what MAC is doing right now at midfield. Of course, as soon as I say that, we see the double commit, bump off, and they no longer have possession.
Yeah, that was Expire and Tippy close to, scoring a goal there. Expire just wasn't 100, oh my goodness, tweet me now, please. That was insane.
I was pretty worried. I saw where Expire was. I'm like, that's not a great clear position, but it should work. Queepy now just did not care. Did not care at all. Absolutely none given. Comes in, dunks, and scores that second goal. We talked about momentum before. Whoops you. That certainly pushes momentum a particular way.
Yeah, on top of that, stays true to the stat line, the story we've been telling so far. 2-0 in favor of NVCC. About 2 minutes remaining in this ball game. Here comes C. Mertz at midfield. Expire. Great interception. An open net as well. That's going to go ahead and mess up our storyline here. Trip and Expire going to score the first goal here for MAC.
It has to start somewhere, right? And honestly, watching this MAC team play so far, it all goes through Expire. But Expire has been the player who has shown the best mechanics, who has shown the ability to handle the ball, get it out of the zone, find those teammates, and make those important plays. And I think that really, really helps this team just get Expire going. That's the captain of this squad. Once your captain gets going, the team gets going. Tippy knows it and ties it up at 157.
Yeah, it just comes off of this pressure here from MAC as well, and Tippy finally puts one center. I think the last time Tippy scored a goal was game number 2. So finally puts one there. It goes through the defense, just lacking just a tad bit from NVCC. Wasn't expecting the defender or an offender to be there for MAC, and just pretty much got caught. They were sleeping. They were sleeping. That's all I can really say.
Yeah. And now we're all tied up, so once the curse is broken, it starts to pour down a little bit. Expires, booming touch glove backboard. Tippy's got the read, but does not have the beat. Ultor is there. They have a dish of their own, but no boost here for C. Mertz. They'll steal some on the backhand side of the blue half. Cutoff falls at midfield, ball bouncing around. 90 seconds left. Ultor ready in front of the net. Ultor versus Expire. Expire wins it, finding Tippy. The redirect is on target, but C. Mertz is right there for the save.
That's a good save right there from C. Mertz. A poor touch right here from Expire might lead to something. Ultor has the ball, has the boost. Can he put it through? No, he cannot. Good defense in the 2v1 situation from Farrells. Keeping that one out for MAC. Here comes an attack now. No boost to work with this Farrells, though. The defense doesn't know that, though. Good bait out in the 50-50. Trying to get this 100 pad. Going for the 50 as well. Keeping all this pressure onto the defense of NVCC and just being an absolute nuisance as well. Can it lead to something, though? Can that pressure do anything? It looks like the NVCC is indeed going to hang on.
That's why, as a player, all that says to me, as a boomer is on target from Falls, I'll have to get back to the point later. Look at this passing play. Expire again. I said collects the ball, has a great opportunity to find their teammates. Falls is right there at midfield, and upper bins that one as well. 40 seconds to go, and a late lead here for Mineral Area College.
That just came off of a mistake, though, as well from Ultor, who pretty much everybody thought he was going to hit that one over into the corner of the blue side of the field. He just miscalculates it, can't come up with the touch, and that just gets taken away from MAC. And they've transitioned perfectly with a beautiful passing play. But the pressure is on MAC right now. Can they stay alive in this series? They need to win this game number 4 and force this game number 5. Only 15 seconds left. C. Mertz, waterfall down. There's the equalizer. Ultor going to make up for it on the offensive end.
One of two things was going to happen. Northern Virginia was going to score a goal with all the pressure that they had. They were getting a little bit scrambly, or they were going to get absolutely destroyed on a counterattack. All three players swarming the ball, ensuring that they have that late offense. They tie it up here with 14 seconds. They've got possession off the kickoff as well. It'll be Gweetney now, beating Tippy all the way to that boost. Ultor dropping it down, finding C. Mertz. Expire on the redirect. That one's on target. 5 seconds to go, and a late goal for Expire.
Absolutely great takeaway right there, bumping the defenders off of the ball, trying to get their offense established, and that's exactly what you need to do, is you need to put that pressure onto them and bump them off the ball or demo. In this situation, it works out perfectly for MAC, but they need to survive the 5 seconds. We see kickoff goals before the half happen. Here comes Wheatley now, off the back wall, gonna push this one. Another waterfall! Ultor gonna score the second one and tie it up and force the OT.
I've seen this episode once. I see it again. Dropping right down in front of the net. The defense can't do anything about it. They're not ready on the backboard to play that one. We're gonna have overtime here in game at number 4. We're tied up at 4 apiece as well. It's going to be Northern Virginia who's looking for a goal to secure the series lead. It's going to be MAC looking for the goal to try to find themselves in game at number 5. Early pressure here for Nova. Cleared out by Falls. That's the first 10 seconds of this intense overtime.
This is absolutely ridiculous. This one can go either way, Trippin. It's a pretty much coin flip at this point in time. A pop towards the blue box going to be saved away by Farrells. Expire needs to clear this one back towards midfield. He does just that. Here comes C. Mertz now with the takeaway towards midfield. This is just a back and forth movement. We talked about it during regulation, how neither team was pretty much willing to overextend their offense or their defense. We're going to see ourselves a battle here in OT.
Yeah, and a lot of times in these overtimes, you either see them end very, very quickly because both teams are aggressive and they want that quick goal, or you see very, very conservative play because, like you said, neither team wants to be the one that makes that mistake. Things start to slow down a little bit. You get a little bit more cautious, a little more risk averse. You've seen a couple plays here. A little bit of boomer ball back and forth. Here's Farrells. Going to have that touch. It'll drop right down in front of the net. Tippy is there. There's a bump. Ultor is going to win it. And it's Ultor versus Expire on the wall. It's going to be Expire with a massive 50 to win that one. They'll keep going, but Ultor will collect now. On the right-hand side, 63 boost to work with. That's quite a bit. They've got the air dribble. There's the bump parade coming in. All three players in the net. None of them make contact. Ball drops down right in front of the box and is pitched away to the other side. How in the world does Northern Virginia not score?
Yeah, on top of that, Ultor just had the flip reset, couldn't quite get the car, his Octane wrapped around the bottom of the ball to force that shot through. And then once that happened, Mac's defense was on the goal line, just left scrambling because they were expecting that flip reset, pretty much musty flick, whatever it was going to be. It just did not happen, so left them scrambling. NVCC definitely missed a huge opportunity to put this game away and the series in oh my goodness. I can't even fathom words at this point in time because these two teams are just pretty much going at it right now, Trippin.
Yeah, they really are, and like I said, they're still playing a little bit conservative here, but you can tell that both teams know this pressure is on. Expire has been all over the ball. There is a pass, a give and go, back to the give. Ultor with the flick, over one, in front of the net. Ultor seals the deal, the solo play, and that'll give him over 1,000 points in this game.
That was absolutely ridiculous, and it came down to the wire as well. I can't believe that one worked in NVCC's favor. I thought it was going to be slow played enough that Ultor was going to be red, but instead he seals the deal in OT. Another hat trick as well for Ultor, and I think you said it, Trippin. I think it's time. 2 back-to-back hat tricks. I'm just going to go ahead and just take it off. My hat is officially on the ground. You earned it, Ultor. We're not worthy. We're not worthy. That's all I can say.
Well, that is just an absolutely incredible solo performance, man. I literally cannot believe just how well that worked out for them. I mean, you don't often see in those situations the solo play working out, but that flick is just a little bit too tall. And I think that, you know, the MAC defense, it looked a little bit scrambly on the possession right before that one. All three players in the net, all three of them miss. Bar hits the crossbar, right? Like they just managed to get themselves out of that one. Did not work the second time around. Ultor best them. And again, a 1,000 point performance there in game 4.
Yeah, that was just absolutely ridiculous. How they kept that one out, I have no idea still, but NVCC are going to walk away with the victory, and a hard-fought victory at that. Even though it was only game number 4, it could have easily went to a game number 5, but it's just shenanigans is all I can really say and summarize it up as, offensively, defensively, for both teams, not just one. It just came down to the absolute wire, and a coin flip is what I like to call it as well. But they are going to go ahead and move to 1-0 on the season. And like we talked about before, Tripp, and I literally told you, do not let this first game define your season. MAC are a team that can be a threat, and I would love to see this down the line, NVCC versus MAC once again. But we are going to have some interviews afterwards. Somebody from NVCC is going to join us after this break, so stick with us.
That bomb angle was beautiful.
Week 4 of ECAC Rocket League was absolutely insane. CMU and FC were tied up 0-0, but it was Gand who told FC they shall not pass game number 2.
Side of FC, they've only got one player for a moment there. They're trying to recollect, they're trying to reposition, but how do you position around a pinpoint accurate shot like this? Gand goes crossbar down for the first goal.
Adams in reverse backed the defense off with that.
Whenever I'm on the mic for Valorant, you'll often hear the line, check your corners, repeated over and over and over again. And even with me not on the mic to tell them, I have a feeling this team may have learned that lesson.
Nah, he's got to take the shot.
Take it.
Oh yeah, sounds of teammates running on through, and come on, dive! The 4K on a completely unaware trio. And it's 11-0 right now.
and those are the top 8 moments we thought deserved just a little bit more time in the spotlight of week number 4 here at ECAC. Thank you all so much for watching. If you're interested in what ECAC has going on, we got something happening nearly every day of the week, so check us out right here. Editor, it's a challenge for you. Wink, wink. And folks, this has been all from me. Thank you all so much for watching. Enjoy this, and we've got plenty of weeks down the line. Can't wait to see what comes of them.
https://twitter.com/Septilence. Don't put that in. I'll get in trouble. So that's worth it. Did I get too close to the camera on that one? A little bit too close. Should I back up a little bit? Okay, sorry about that. My bad. I've been awake for probably close to 32 hours. Like, I have to hold my keyboard the normal way, because if I do it, I feel like I have arthritis if I hold my keyboard like that. It blows my mind. I can never do that. This guy right here, he's got his keyboard off at an angle. His isn't that extreme. There's a kid all the way down on the far end who has his keyboard all the way at a horizontal.
That's really cool.
They're going to be at that table right over there.
Public information?
Oh, I don't know. This isn't live, so it doesn't matter.
It's not live, but you and I know.
Yeah, we know.
I'm not going to tweet it.
Awesome. What game do you play?
Smash Bros.
Who do you play? Is it embarrassing? Is it like Villager?
Yeah.
Is it Villager? Am I spot on? Oh my god. Is it the Ice Climbers?
No.
Is it Game & Watch?
No.
Is it Pichu?
No.
Is it Wario?
No.
I can keep going. I think I can name every character in the game. Is it, did I say the Ice Climbers already?
Yeah, you said them.
Is it them?
No.
Is it them a second time? No. Okay. All right. Oh, is it one of the links?
Yes, it is.
Is it Toon Link?
It is.
Oh, that is pretty embarrassing. That is rough. Who do you play?
I'll give you $20 if you guess correctly right now.
First try? Give me a single hint.
It's an obscure character.
Obscure character.
Not played very often.
Is it Wii Fit Trainer?
Oh my god! Oh my.
I'm the interviewer for a reason, baby. I do what I do. I don't need the money. I appreciate it, though. I appreciate it. So Bowser Jr., Wii Fit, and I forgot already. Are you all lying to me? Am I being gaslit? No. Bowser Jr., Wii Fit, and you told me already. Oh, Toon Link. Yep. Where's my main support at? Who are we playing this weekend?
A lot of Brig.
A lot of Brig, really?
Brig Lucio, probably.
Brig Lucio, really? I shouldn't say that too loud. I don't want to give away your strategies. It's over-under?
What do you mean over-under?
Like, do we think we're going to podium? Do we think we're going to come in last place?
Not last place.
Not last place?
Certainly not last.
What about 5th place?
That's doable.
That's doable? That's winnable? 3rd place?
Third place.
That's where things get dicey?
That's very doable.
Okay.
First place? That's very doable.
First place, very doable. Love it. That's the mindset. That's what he loves to hear. Yeah. Oh my god. Hold on. Cut the cameras. Well, who are you? Hello. Oh my god. I saw you earlier. I saw the back of your shirt. And I was like, I know that name. I know him. It's a quick play game. They Q-sniped each other at land. I thought it was a scrim. It's just unlucky. Are you actually a Villager player?
Yeah.
How do you feel about Villager being notably worse in Smash Ultimate than they were in Smash 4?
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know? You never played Smash 4?
No.
Oh, that's all right. Nobody's going to hold that against you. Now, who do you play?
I play Robin.
Okay, wow. Did you know Robin has the lowest pick rate in the game?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Come on, the LEDs, it looks just like Samus.
Huh?
Do you disagree?
I guess I can see
The
it.
Samus vibe. Show the controller to the camera. We're interviewing. This is recording, by the way. Surprise.
Not my controller.
Who do you play?
I play Peach.
Oh, wow. I like that. Who do you play?
I play the Shotos, mostly Kazi.
No, you lose against Kirby. That's just like a statistics thing.
Yeah.
It's maybe.
This is a death match, and I think they're all in the same one. They're all on Icebox. Are they all in the same death match? Maybe. Who knows? I feel like none of them can hear me. I want to approach somebody, but no one can hear. They all have both their headphones on.
What's up?
How do we think we're doing?
I think we're doing pretty good. Yeah.
What's your kitty?
We're looking at 10 and 6 right now.
Oh, hey, that's 3rd, dude. That's better than I expected. Who's bottom frag right now? I want to go talk to them. Ian? Hey, how do you think we're doing so far?
It could be better.
Could be better? You're one of those rough days?
Well,
Let's go find more people to harass. Yeah. Where's Boise State? Who's your favorite to play?
Oh, right now it's got to be either Chamber or Breach.
What country is Cypher from?
Oh, dude. It's Moroccan, right?
It is Morocco. Oh my god, I don't think anyone is gonna get that. Oh, you're good. You're good. All right, see you later. Let's go harass Boise State more. Who is this? What school is this? Boise?
This is Boise.
Oh man, that's okay. Boise's still got really good odds. A Large Bagel, one of their tank players, Nerdy Bird, they're off tank. Both of them not here. A little bit scary, if we're being honest. Getting warmed up, getting ready to cast some players. No, okay, not cast, interview. Change your mindset, change your mindset.
Words.
No, but last words until we come back.
Oh, okay.
Because we're leaving.
Enjoy.
Oh, that was good, that was good. Anything from you?
How are you doing, Polly?
Awesome, thank you so much for your time.
Welcome everybody here to the top 5 plays of the week from Esports U. Clutchkey here to help you bring those 5 plays, and we got one from each game lined up. Let's start with play number 5, and this one takes us to Rocket League, where the Bulldogs of Louisiana Tech and the SUNY Poly Wildcats squaring off. But for the Bulldogs, they show us why the saying goes, teamwork makes the dream work, with insane passes and a goal to end it.
The options have to go and recover defensively because that's a big long clear. And, well, the long clear can either catalyze an offense or bring into situations like this. Jazz leaps up for the shot, knocks it home.
Now, the Wildcats were able to take a game off the Bulldogs, but in the end, Louisiana Tech would go on to win the series 4-1. Coming in at number 4 is from League of Legends, and it's the Army West Point Black Knights and the Lethbridge College Kodiaks playing in a USA versus Canada game on the Rift. But down 2 people mid-game, it was looking kind of like the Black Knights had a challenging fight coming up in top lane. But then again, the Army isn't called tough for nothing.
2v4, by the way. Now a 3v1 into another 3v1. This is Army West Point just doing the duty list, right? That is almost a full ace. Yeah, the minions will help him out. That is an ace.
Now that was in game number 1, and Army West Point would go on to win the entire series 2-0. Let's go to number 3 now in Overwatch 2 action, where the Great Danes of Albany and the Bulls of South Florida squaring off.
Thank you very much for sticking with us through that break. If you guys missed the action, then I'm sorry for you, because that was a heck of a series that we had in our hand, and that was for the NJCAAE, and it was the Mineral Arena College taking on Northern Virginia. Northern Virginia winning that matchup in a 3-2 series. I'm sorry, Trippin. I lost my train of thought there. But yeah, it was a heck of a matchup. We do have the team captain, C. Mertz, here with us for NVCC. C. Mertz, heck of a matchup. 3-1 is what the final scoring was. What were your thoughts going through that game? It was a lot closer than the 3-1 matchup, in my personal opinion, because of the fact that, you know, game number 1 was 4-0 in favor for you guys. Game 2, you guys came out, you guys kind of fell flat just a tad bit. You guys lost that matchup 2-0, and then fired right back on all cylinders 3-0. You know, going into that game number 3, what was going through your guys' head?
Basically, we just had to play our game. You know, I feel like we had it under control for the most part. We did drop game 2, which was unfortunate, but we pulled out the win, and it was worked out in our favor, so it was good.
So you're talking about, you know, having to play your game. Is your game just Ultor's game and whatever he is up to, the 1,000-point performance in game number 4? I mean, is that the team game, or was there something else that should have been going on and he was just popping?
Yeah, I mean, obviously can't ignore Ultor's skill. He's just a really good player. Me and my teammate Gwip usually try and play around him, because usually when we play around him, we do our best. So as you could see, obviously in that game 4, it worked out perfectly. You know, he dropped 1,000 points. It was lovely to be his teammate in that moment. So yeah.
I mean, sometimes that's what you have to do. We were talking about here up in the booth, you know, the 1-man, the 2-man, the 3-man. You know, how does that really kind of play effect in your guys' strategy going into some games? Like, who was that number 1 man? You guys kind of felt you just defaulted back towards that, you know, that secondary objective. To me, whenever who has the hot hand, you know, in my personal opinion, is going to be that front runner for that game. Is that what you guys kind of default to, or do you guys have set 1, 2, 3 people?
I wouldn't say we have a set 1, 2, 3 people, but usually Ultor's just good in all 3. So obviously you can't have 3 Ultors on one team. But usually when he's first man, he always gets the challenge in that we need. I mean, you guys saw at the end of game 4, he was just right there for Gwip's pass right off the ceiling to go to overtime. Like, he just always in the right spot, whether it's first, second, or third man. And like usually it's just me and Henry like filling in wherever around Ultor, and it works out.
Yeah, it worked out great, absolutely. I want to take an opportunity to not look so much at the past, look towards the future. It's week 1, right? It's an early season. We talked coming into the broadcast about not wanting this to define your entire season, but at least set the tone. You feel like this is a tone-setting game, and you kind of know what the direction you're going to take over the next couple weeks?
Yeah, I would love to set the tone with this game. You know, I feel like we're one of the stronger teams in our bracket, and I want to play with confidence throughout the season, so starting off with a win is like super important, especially in the fun games we had in overtime and stuff like that. But yeah, I totally think we set the tone with this game for sure.
Well, that's awesome, Seamers. Thank you very much for being here with us. Congratulations once again on your win. Do you have any shout outs that you want to give, you know, to, you know, anybody in Northern Virginia, anywhere around the state or world, anywhere?
Obviously, got to give it to my teammates. Like, would not be talking about the win without them. You know, Gloomy now and Ultra are just truly good players. I love playing with them. My parents, I don't know if they're watching for sure. Hopefully they are. You know, love to see you guys watching. And my girlfriend Tessa, she's busy, but I hope she's watching, being able to see the dub we took today.
Right around Valentine's Day too, man.
Of course, yeah.
Congrats on that. Good luck with the rest of the season as well.
Thank you.
Definitely be cheering for you guys. That was an awesome performance tonight.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yep. Well, Trippin', that's going to do it here for us on Esports U. That was, like I said before, just an amazing performance. That was such a heck of a matchup. I would love to see those two go at it later on in the season after they get, a little bit more defined, a little bit more games under their belt as well, so they kind of figure out the strategy behind, the offense and the defense there.
Yeah, it'll be good to see what that team's able to do. I mean, C-Mert seems pretty confident about what they're going to be able to do down the stretch, but like I said, it is early. There's a lot of opportunities, but at least for Rocket League, whoops, we got some other things to worry about tonight here at Esports U.
Oh, yeah, 100%. We have pretty much some Super Smash Brothers action afterwards. We're going to have some more ECAC action for week number 3. That's going to be Emory and Henry versus Central Maine Community College, and that's going to be Laird and Soy bringing you guys that action here on Esports U right after the break. But Trippin', any final thoughts, any shout-outs for yourself?
I just want to say thanks to everyone here at Esports U for the invite. Whoops, great casting with you for the first time. We've, like you said, coming in Green Room, man. We've known each other for so long. We met each other at Worlds, still never cast together until today. But hey, there is a first time for everything. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, hopefully we didn't let you guys down for our first time casting. That was absolutely amazing. Thank you guys for the opportunity. And yeah, shout out. If you guys want to follow me, go ahead down here below at Whoopshoe Gaming, at Trippin' over here. Thank you guys very, very much. All the producers that work so very, very hard here at Esports U. We've shot you guys out. Thank you guys for that. But don't go anywhere. Like I said beforehand, some more Super Smash Brothers action coming here on Esports U. You guys have a good night.
One player was hitting shots, and one player was showing why Doomfist has Doom in his name.
Getting 2 picks, although that comes out right back. Bob is out of the floor. Ski gets 2. Ski gets 2. This is just an annihilating fracture here from Ski. It's unbelievable. The fight continues on, and it looks like it's going to be a fight win here for Albany.
Albany would go ahead and take that game and take on the sweep as they would defeat South Florida 3-0. 2 spots left on the countdown, and coming in at number 2 is Super Smash Bros. Sauce from the Fisher Falcons taking on Neo Joe from the St. Thomas Aquinas Spartans. It's Mario taking on the Pokemon trainer with the Squirtle out, but don't let Sauce start cooking or they could lay the smackdown on you.
Sauce, there's a couple of Mario players kind of making waves right now, but it's about what Sauce is doing right now to Neo Joe. He's saucing him up. Oh my mercy, what a forward air.
Fisher would go ahead and take that fight, take that win, and take the series 2-0. And the number 1 play belonging to Valorant. The Demon Deacons of Wake Forest have a 1-0 lead up on the Bryan Bulldogs, heading to Icebox. But Wake Forest down 6-4. Spike planted on B, and it's a 1v3 situation favoring the Bulldogs. Luckily for the Demon Deacons, this is one of the rounds that Conrad decided to play the hero.
Are they just going to lead this? Are they playing for Hunter's Fury potentially? They are. And there's the shot from Aimbot, though. This is going to be extremely dangerous. He's going to be able to find him. Does he have time?
Now that match would go on to map number 3, and Conrad would also get an ace on that last map, but it wasn't enough as Brian would win the series 2-1.
They're going to have just a little bit more than that, a second and a half, I think.
And that's it for the top 5 of the week from Esports U. We'll see you back out there for even more games. And until next time, this is Clutchkey from Esports U signing off.
And there's so many other jobs as well that can translate out of this experience in esports. The only path is not just as a player. I think all of us are representative of jobs in esports, but it mirrors traditional sports in pretty much the same way. You've got, broadcasters, you've got production people, you've got marketing and sales, and now NIL and things like that. But really, esports is kind of a great accelerator for a lot of new businesses that are coming up in the metaverse and Web3, and there's a lot of new technology that is going to be needed. And so these STEM students that are also esports athletes are really the future workforce and leaders of tomorrow. And us as well as all of our brand partners that we work with really recognize this. And I think that's really, a key driver of why brands are in this space. They want to be part of building that future workforce and leadership and shaping it and supporting it. So yeah, it's been a very interesting space to watch.
And we offer such a big, we offer such a big counterpart to traditional sports also, because it's a counterpart, but it's also the same, is what I'm trying to say. Because when you're traditional sports and they're done after their 2-a-day workout and they're done after their practice scrim, they're coming home to play Call of Duty and relax and put their feet up and get a drink and play video games. It grows their brain, problem-solving skills, and their hand-eye coordination while they're home. Hand-eye coordination, if you're a football player, massive skill. So it helps build those things while they're off the field. And then for us, vice versa, if you're an esports athlete, one of the errors I had growing up when I was competing in esports is that I was not active enough. I played sports, I competed a little bit, but I wasn't active enough truly when I look at it. So that's one area that esports players can learn from in terms of activity and physical and the marrying of both. People say, oh, sports and esports, video games. Not really. We're just kind of the tech industry's competitive form of competition, as to where traditional sports are more physical, hands-on. So I believe in the marrying of these two sectors and that they actually live together while also being counterparts.
Well, I think then to speak to something about marrying, right, from traditional to esports, that to me speaks to this whole new thing, at least again from you guys, right? You guys have more traditional sports background, right? Paul, Lee, Mike, and all of that. But I think let's talk NIL then, because I think that's something that I think is really interesting, that at least when I heard about it, right, of what we're trying to do with, esports athletes, schools, programs in general, because it wasn't something you would think normally, right? You could understand, right, football player on the field, star quarterback, it makes sense, right? The guy is somebody that everybody knows on campus, whether you're on the team, off the team, or you're just going to the school, it makes sense. But I think, nowadays it's not as common, or people don't think that they could be somebody that their name is out there, right? Or that they're known, right? As we're growing this space, as we're putting this together, it almost feels really interesting that, your star entry in Valorant, or your star forward on Rocket League, right? Whatever the case might be, now they can have NIL deals. It's a thing out there. And I think, I don't know, maybe Mike, you want to start off? But
I think, thank you for teeing that up. So I was talking for too long. I forgot to bring NIL into the mix. So it's a common occurrence, occupational hazard. So I would say that, so NIL for I'm sure most of you watching understand what it is, but NIL stands for name, image, and likeness. Name, image, and likeness, that term has been utilized to describe the transition of traditional student athletes, NCAA athletes, and their ability to monetize their name, image, and likeness. It went live July 1st, 2021, and it has continued over the course of the last nearly 14 months now. It's an interesting term because it's been co-opted to describe the NCAA's approach to student athletes being able to make endorsement money or be able to monetize any part of their name, image, and likeness. But it's been around forever, right? We've had athletes endorsing brands for over 100 years. Babe Ruth of the New York Yankees was endorsing brands 100 years ago, and it has continued onward from baseball cards all the way through now, where we have lots of different integrations of how influencers can monetize their followings. So what I would say on the traditional side is it's still a very young space. There are a lot of stories out there regarding NIL that tend to focus on the negative, or how out of control, I put in air quotes, it has gotten. But there is still a burgeoning marketplace for many more student athletes that are involved. About 17% of NCAA athletes are currently involved in NIL, but 65% more than that want to get involved and are curious how to get started. On the flip side, brands are challenged with a few different things in the space. There are 10,000 professional athletes in the United States. Once July 1st, 2021 hit, and you dump every NCAA athlete into that space, that's another 500,000. So brands that maybe didn't have a dedicated athlete strategy when there were 10,000 now have 500,000 plus that 10,000 to figure out how to activate who they are. That's a lot. I understand brands' hesitancy in some instances, but I can tell you that companies like us are on a daily basis educating brands and student athletes as to the software you can use, the types of activations you can get involved in, and how to utilize your followings, or if you don't have to or want to be a social media star, other ways in which you can monetize it. Now, I know I described that under the umbrella of the NCAA, but I see it as being no different in esports. I think there are massive opportunities for people with followings to be able to use that and connect with brands. I think a company like us can help you to do that. And then beyond that, we can make sure that those transactions are safe for you. I think there are opportunities, not just at the individual competitor level, but at the program level to have a sponsorship go to that. I'm sure some of you out there listening and watching already have deals like that in place, but I think we can continue to enhance, augment those deals and make them more comprehensive and make them, first of all, I think product deals are perfectly fine, but I think we can get beyond that and grow some of these deals to a greater extent. Paulie, thoughts on that?
Yeah, what you said is right. So I'll put it in for layman's terms here for just the esports players, because I talk to so many of our athletes that compete in our CECC series that are currently still in college. And basically when Mike Blewett says NIL, what he's referring to is just very simple. If a brand or any sort of anyone wants to use your school's name or your brand or anything with you, there is a deal for you that can be put in place, whether it's product deal, whether it's a paid endorsement. You can, whether you're a macro influencer or whether you're a micro influencer, you can be paid for your services. So most of the people, when I talk to them, most of the, I won't say people, college athletes, they are, intimidated by the word. They don't really know what it means. They've never done anything with it before. And that's what it means. Any single time a brand or anyone at all wants to use your name or do a deal with you or do some sort of activation with you or your school, that's basically what the layman's terms, the NIL meaning comes from. And it's evolving in this space. There are so many brands that want to associate with micro and macro influencers and just get people involved with their products or their services. So all of you, collegiate athletes out there that are competing in esports, not only are we trying to broker those deals, but also keep your eyes, ears open, and don't be shy or scared to take these deals, because that's what I've heard the most, is that most of the time they're just scared to take them. They don't know what they are. They don't know if they're locking themselves into some agreement or terms that they're like going to give their name away or something too. So this is a really important space, and it's how you're all going to physically make money and build your brands along with company brands. So it's really important to learn. And my advice is to just get your feet wet. Don't worry about shying away. Read the contracts and take some of these deals, because growing your own brand is the future of what our industry is going to be, in my opinion.
Exactly. And if you follow in the pro space, you'll see that the pro teams are not only focusing on competitive play, but a lot of them are focusing on their brand and their cultural importance in the space. And so, one of the things that we do also is help athletes build their brand, build their following. And that's part of what Paulie and Kyler are doing on their side when we do this behind the scenes training. And so, building your brand, this is a creator economy. Anybody and everybody can be anything they want to be. And so we just really want to be the conduit that supports that across the board.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so. With that said, thank you everyone for, I think, great insights in terms of, for any of you that were watching this and maybe had questions about, what is Esports U, what is CSMG, who are they, what are they doing, what are our plans, right? Well, we know we kind of tried to make a bigger splash in the spring, and we're excited to bring more stuff with you guys for the next year. But I think maybe as we close out here, I know we're slowly approaching on time then, but maybe let's go around the room with everyone here of just what's one thing that we're all excited for this next upcoming year. I know we touched on our plans and a lot of things, but if anyone had to speak, if you had to speak to just one thing of just what has you excited for us as a company, for us as the collegiate or college esports space, right? What's one thing that has all of you guys excited? And maybe we'll start with Mike, since our traditional sports guy, and we'll let Mike speak first.
Sure. So I would say many things on the traditional side, but I'll focus on esports. And I'd say the thing that I'm most excited about going forward is after yet another year of us doing a round of events, I'm excited that more schools will understand exactly what we're doing with our regional events and culminating in CECC and getting more schools involved. I think schools will be more excited to compete in our events because we've established it over the course of a year, and I welcome any and all conversations with getting people involved.
I think for me, I'm most excited about like the schools and conferences, Mike. That's amazing. And that's so exciting. I'm also excited about the brands that we're starting to be able to get involved in this. In our Commissioner's Cup in last May, we had over 14 brands, blue chip brands participating in our event. Barbasol, Microsoft, CDW, Morgan Stanley, New Street, Air Force. And so I think brands are really starting to get excited about being involved in college esports, and we're offering them a platform that not only gives them, you know, a big event, a big yearly event, but also regular daily programming where they can have exposure in front of this audience that they want to build affinity for with their brand. So I'm super excited about seeing the brands get on board and help grow the space along with us. A rising tide lifts all boats. And I think that's probably one of our mottos here at CSMG and Esports U. We're growing our brand, but at the same time, we're also really growing the college esports space as a whole. And that's our goal, for it to be a healthy ecosystem for all parties involved.
Yeah, I agree there. And I guess for me, obviously always, you know, seeing the collegiate esports space elevate.
We're at the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup. Let's make some noise. Oh, and it's going to be what?
Corner judges good for 1, 2, dip. He needs more.
They're doing even more here. You gotta touch the point. Mr. Collins walks it in.
Toy Boy is going to drop.
Knife him.
Right out front.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1, running.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to this production here of Esports U with some Smash Brothers Ultimate action tonight. I'm Laird, he's Soy. We're going to be bringing to you all the action, and this match is going to be a bit of a head-scratcher for us. A couple of new schools in the mix. It's going to be between Emory and Henry versus Central Maine CC. It's going to be a fun one. I have no idea what to expect from this one, Soy, but I'm anticipating it's going to be a fun match either way.
Yeah, I mean, these are two teams that I think you and I, we're kind of newer to covering these two schools, but it'll be interesting to see who can come out on top here. We haven't gotten a peek at some of these rosters yet, but so far this season, these are two teams that have been a little bit on the rougher side of things. Both are 0-2 and looking to get back into the winning column this week. But I mean, both schools looking to get just their first set win, get their feet wet this season or this split.
And if there's any time to do that, it's in week 3 when you still have time to bounce back into the conference play. So I do believe the arena has been set. PS2 is going to be the stage pick. No surprises there. I mean, everyone loves that place to go. So it's just going to be about us getting into the mix. And we're going to be starting off with Sephiroth and Pikachu. Henry. We have CC bringing in Pikachu.
Yeah, and not a matchup that I think you see two characters that you see, fairly frequently, but maybe not against each other all that often. So it'll be interesting to see which player can, kind of get their combo game rolling here, as Gray will be trying to get in on the poke that is Sephiroth. And this up B on stage, gonna get Pikachu off once more, but Volcalido, I can't even speak, excuse me. Volcadillo is what we're going with, is so far doing a decent job of, keeping their own space.
Yeah, the thing about Sephiroth is you really got to play in your zone well, and using that scintilla on those projectiles is a really big deal. Even weak projectiles or jabs do a lot of extra damage to your opponent, anywhere up from 20 to maybe 40 or 50 if you have that wing equipped. It's a very scary move, and he's going to go for the up smash to try to sink that kill, but fortunately a fast fall Nair is going to be beating out that up smash for Gray. He's going to be trying to keep Volcadillo, I see, and I'm hung up on it, in a bit of a bind. You know, Pikachu's so good at controlling stage presence whenever they have the majority of it, but Sephiroth, same token, long pokes, a lot of damage, and really good ledge trapping with that Mega Flare.
First stock gone, and Gray gonna be still working away at stock number 1 here. They're gonna find the forward smash, but it's not gonna be able to take that stock quite yet. Couple of snaps here from Sephiroth just to try and get some chip damage. They want the combo into the Thunder, but still not enough. And Gray feels like they're still kind of fishing for that that big, strong hit that will kill here, but they got to be a bit trickier about it, because right now the defense of Sephiroth is just, just chipping away at the stock, continuing to keep Pikachu at bay.
Yeah, both these characters are quite light, so at these percentages, very strong attacks will be getting rid of them post-haste. Oh, reverse up air is not going to do it. Trying to go for another one, but maybe accidentally misinput forward air. Pikachu's got a quick attack over center stage. Fortunately for Gray, he will not be losing his stock just yet. No one's able to get a clean hit. And, yep, gonna miss the second hit of the quick attack. Didn't quite have an angle to get back to ledge, which is particularly scary, but a run-up down smash is gonna catch that drop shield. So, a couple stock trades, however, Emery and Henry, led by Volcadillo, is going to be currently in the lead here. Nice combo from Gray to try to bounce back, but frankly, Soy, it looks like this one might be a little bit too far out of reach for the win for Central Maine. But then again, trying to take one stock away, no way to keep your team competitive here.
And so far, Gray doing a pretty good job of it. I mean, until that forwarder had not been touched, just a quick 90% dealt to Volcadillo, and now maybe a Nair comes through. Gray here, big stock for them if they can find a way to take this, but they might die to the forward tilt. Yes, they will. I think that was the strong hitbox as well. And so down goes Gray in our first match of the night.
And Sephiroth, what a lead, what a character. That dude is really scary if you don't know how to deal with him. I will say Gray was doing a good job starting to come back into that. Was very near taking that second stock away, but unfortunately, Gray was not able to win that one out, and Volcadillo, with only one stock down, is going to be giving his team an 8-6 lead here in the rest of this set.
Yeah, and you can see with our graphic here, first player done for the side of Central Maine. That's Gray being wiped off the board, and Volcadillo looked pretty solid overall. I mean, did kind of what they wanted to do, right? Pikachu, very combo-centric character and has plenty of ways to take stocks, but Gray couldn't really get that combo game going, and when they did, it was too little too late. They got that 90% run on their last stock, but they're on their last stock at that point. So Gray just took a little bit too long to warm up to the pace, and Volcadillo did a fantastic job of playing to Sephiroth's strengths.
Right, which is, keeping your opponent away from you, keeping your zoning game going as perfectly as possible. And Pikachu is a mobile character with a really good grounded projectile that makes it a little bit easier for them to get in. The thing is, Sephiroth has some really good get-off-me tools, such as that Nair. Comes out really quickly, has a big enough hitbox to deal with the little rat. And he's down tilt incredibly well to pop Gray up in the air, make it very, very uncomfortable, and just get some random nickel and dime damage in here and there. Gray, whenever he was cooking, was able to do quite a lot of damage, obviously like that 90% run we were talking about to end the game. Unfortunately, though, Volcadillo just kept playing Sephiroth's strength, kept himself safe, was able to maintain that first stock for a long time and make a lot of good usage out of having that wing attribute, which activates around 80-90% whenever you're trying to hold on to a stock. And, having a comeback mechanic like that, you pull out on all your stocks, that's what makes Sephiroth so good in these crew battle situations in particular.
Yeah, and now that we'll be getting ready for set number 2, Volcadillo is going to be locked in on that Sephiroth for the remainder of his first match here. So we'll have to see how he does, and I'm curious to see if he kind of changes up the style. It felt like early on you saw a couple of those big swings. In particular, I'm thinking about the up Bs at ledge as an attempt to try and catch Gray's recovery from the ledge in the first place. That multi-slash. I'm blanking on the name of it, but either way.
It's Octo Slash. It's close enough.
Octo Slash. Either way, doing something like that,
Listen.
you know, very, very risky in the moment, but in theory, right, you get it on a light character like Pikachu. I mean, you could take stocks on this character very quickly, especially with Sephiroth's kill power. I'm curious to see if, you know, we see that again, and if it's a, you know, character-specific thing, like, you know, they wanted to see how early they could kill this Pikachu, or if, say, they go up against a heavy in this next round, all of a sudden they play a little bit more cautious and play into that more defensive keep-away style.
Yeah. I want to talk about that Octoslash again, because that would be really good against particularly, you know, a couple heavies who have low ledge grabs and everything. The big deal is that hitbox actually hits a lot lower than you might expect. It looks like, you know, the sword's the entire hitbox, but he's got some by his feet, which is why if you're holding on for ledge a little bit too long, it might be a bit of a pickle for you to be in. But it does look like we have the character lock in, and it will be a Joker coming in from, I believe that would be... Actually, I don't know who the player's name is, but we'll see that in a moment. Anyway, it's going to be Central Maine trying to bounce their way back into this one. They are down by 2 stocks at the moment, but if there is one way to deal with the DLC Menace, it is to bring out the original DLC Menace in this Joker here. We're going to be on Kalos for Game 2. Gamer Boy Cutie squaring up against Volcadeo. Currently remaining 2 stocks. He was still just taunting through the gun. I don't think he cares too much because he's got that forward air damage back up.
And anytime a Joker is on screen, my mind immediately goes to Rebel's Guard, and that the use of that move is going to be very key moving forward in this series, especially against Sephiroth, right? You get that sweet spot, that meter can get racked up very quickly if you use that move at the correct timing, because if you don't, the punish that Sephiroth can be massive.
And you know what my mind goes to immediately, Soy? It goes to the big man himself. Arsene is in the building, folks. And on top of Joker's already impressive repertoire, the amount of juice that Arsene adds to all these hits is immaculate. These back airs, formerly only doing about 7% and killing maybe at about 120, are now killing about 40-50% earlier and doing 20% per hit with a ton of combo damage. However, a down smash is going to snap that shield in two. And there's the Mega Flare, the Giga Flare. Take that stock away. And that's the thing about Sephiroth. He plays like a boss character. If you slip up just once, he can capitalize.
And that shield break, too, massive in terms of the momentum for Volcadeo, is now with that kind of early stock lead here, and now you're kind of extending the lead for the side of Emery and Henry. And at these low percents here, you're starting to see, I think, Volcadeo is kind of heated up now. They're starting to get the read on a couple of these risky plays. Once they find a down tilt, they're starting to look for those defensive options, play a little bit more passive, but that time they get aggressive and they're punished for it. The big red man forward smash going to be able to take that stop.
You know, stall and falls aren't always a very good thing to do. They are a great mix-up tool in some occasions, but that's only if it hits. If it misses, well, you're hitting an Arsene F smash. And actually, those Shadow Flare is going to be helping Central Main's Gamer Boy Cutie gonna be living a little bit. By the way, love the name. It's just a bit of a mouthful sometimes.
Nair from ledge there by Gamer Boy Cutie, but they won't be able to get too much off the back of it. Oh, wow,
that's
fading
okay.
so dangerously close to that up smash, but they'll be able to escape for the moment here. This is a big stock here for Volcadeo. If they can take this stock, all of a sudden, that's a massive lead for the side of Emery and Henry. One that is going to really put Central Maine in a bind. 126 right now, but does Arsene make it back on stage? He's not going to have the chance to. He armored through with the down smash, and that's another stock off the board.
I don't even think that F smash hit. I know Joker kind of lunges forward a little bit, but Masamune is as long as 2.5 Jokers. I don't necessarily think he quite was in the range there. I think he might have been expecting a dash forward from Volcadeo when he went for that, but the down smash will be taking that stock regardless of what I think. Trying to go for a down smash to catch a roll in, and actually the curse damage from the EHA is going to put the wing on deck. Arsene is here, looking for an Akarakan to try to reflect that. I like the spacing on that up smash too. Gonna poke the shield, but will not go for the hit. It was a good thing to catch a jump in though.
Ooh, the counter, the active hitbox is gonna connect there. There's another counter.
Oh my god.
Both, getting good reads. And speaking of, they are both searching, swinging for this last stock. Look at all the pressure on the shield there, but they'll be able to get away for the moment. Gamer Boy Cutie's now off stage. Just neutral get up to get back, and the parry to help them get back to stage as well. But the distance of that Sephiroth sword could be dangerous. Back air, even though it's a sour spot, it's still close to hitting. Another side B is going to land. And now look at the percents, still dead even, but they're in the red here. All it's going to take is one strong hitbox, you'd think, but from center stage, the back air is not going to be able to do it quite yet.
Yeah, and you saw Gamer Boy Cutie try to go for another back air. Here's the thing, when that wing is active, not only do you do way more damage or faster, you also have a lot, or an extra double jump, and yeah, the poking forward air with the high range, that close to the ledge with wing power up. I mean, Sephiroth, he is a hard man to knock the crown off of, and those comeback mechanics, that is exactly why. Played around Arsene beautifully. Recognize the Joker is quite stubby compared to his Masamune. You know, those F tilts, those forward airs, really, really good positioning for most part on Bocadeo. The only time I lost stock was on maybe a misinput, but also just trying to go for a bit of a mix-up, and Gamer Boy Cutie was able to read it. So, unfortunately, for Central Maine Community College, they're down to their last player, and they have 3 players to go through, only one of which is on their last stock.
Yeah, Volcadeo's, I mean, doing doing what he does best right now, finding ways to get the job done. And it's honestly, in the back of my mind throughout that series, it's kind of an odd thought. You know, especially towards that last stock, it's a high pressure situation when you're both last stock and high percents. You just kind of get caught searching for something, and at the end there, Volcadeo able to clutch it out. But it felt like a lot of that set was both players kind of fishing for the big swing, and the moment they did, they got punished for it.
Right. Well, I mean, again, both these characters, they are DLC menaces. They are incredibly good at just swinging and going for the hit sometimes, but the thing that Sephiroth has over Joker just slightly is that he's a little bit safer when he does it because the Masamune is just so freaking long. But that is going to bring us down to our final player from Central Maine. And they have an opportunity to try to make a big comeback, and sometimes we do see the anchor position, the last player in the match coming in, being the best on the team, just to bring a little bit of stability in case the first two don't go so hot. We might be able to see that from Central Maine, and we might be on the brink of an epic comeback here. But time will tell. It will be 3 stocks to 7, heavily in favor of Emory and Henry College.
And the first key here is that very first stock off of Volcadeo. They've got to find a way to take this one. Really, I think to make the comeback realistic, you can't afford to drop a stock here for Central Maine Community College, right? This last member has to be able to hold on here, I think, because if they drop one now, all of a sudden 2 stocks to 6 looks just as rough as before. Just trying to keep it even, give yourself a chance. Smash Bros. Is one of those games where all you need is a stock to, in theory, mount the comeback, but you want to give yourself that leeway. You want to give yourself that kind of space to work with. So start with this first game, get this first stock off the board, and work from there.
And if you're playing Pac-Man, play slow. You got projectiles against Sephiroth. He's got a big old sword. He wants you to be in a very particular range. Oh, he's charging his sword. You got to throw it off. Yeah, there you go. He's got one more. Yeah, okay, there you go. Here's the thing, though. If there's a character who can make comebacks, it is Pac-Man. He's got really good kill potential with that bell active. He's got really good combo game, those forward air strings, a bunch of projectiles to help him aid that as well. Sephiroth is quite light, so he won't be in these combos for very long. However, he is a very big hitbox. As we're seeing now, he's getting quite punished by this. Already has his opponent at 60%. Never reflect that mango, but it will not kill just yet.
I like what we're seeing from Pop Panda already. I mean, how frequently do you see the low percent apple combos? I almost always see that apple used as a kind of late kill option as a projectile. But they're going to find the huge bait there. I mean, spacing around that counter was beautiful, and the punish of the forward smash even better.
That was incredible. Here's the thing about Sephiroth counter. It is unique in the fact that if you do not make contact with it, the hitbox is still going to come out. Pop Panda recognizing this, jumped at him with a back air. Pretty strong back air. Back air's a strong move across the board for most of these characters. And made Volcadeo think, oh, I'm in end lag. I should probably try to go for a counter because that's my quickest option to get rid of this Pac-Man. Plus, it'll probably do a ton of damage because I have wing active. Well, Pop Panda said, all right, he's going to expect me to do this. I'm just going to hit back on the ground, wait for those projectiles, dissipate, run up, use my really good F smash, which has a bit of disjointedness to it, and slam him with it. It's a very strong move. Pac-Man F Smash kind of underrated, which is one of the reasons that Bell is so effective, is because you get those really early kills at like 80%. Sephiroth being as light as he is really can't stand up to that. Pop Panda only sustaining 1 hit during that match is a good sign of fortune to come for Central Maine Community College. I said the anchor, the most important position on this roster. Pop Panda living up to that.
Yeah, absolutely. And from what we saw in that match in particular, I mean, it feels like Pop Panda's got really good spacing and really good knowledge of, what they can kind of afford to get away with in terms of combos. They know the full extent of what they can do, and they're very good at kind of ending that combo right at the peak of it. Even the apple play, right? Knowing the angle that you're going to be sent up at, the percent it's going to do, and how you can follow up off of that. And even things like the bait that we were talking about that ends that very first game, being able to space around that counter just by simply walking after landing, right? Going to be interesting to see how they do against the Doc here in round number 2.
The Doc is ready to rock. This will be the second player coming in from Emery and Henry. I do believe it is the captain, or at least one of the people who are in charge of the Discord presence they have. It's Hispanard coming out here to square off against Pop Panda. A couple retro picks going at it here with Dr. Mario Pac-Man. And right now, I think Hispanard is playing incredibly well, using that pill to great effect. You got to really zone out against Pac-Man if you have the ability to, because Pac-Man can really do some dangerous things with Dr. Mario off stage.
Good grab into the tornado. Is that going to be a stock? Yep. Yeah, it is. And, that's one of the things about Dr. Mario that's always kind of interesting is that this character just racks up damage so quickly and can kill so early that Pop Panda's got to be very careful. They nearly get their jump called out there by that down air, just barely whiffing on that attempt. They're going to catch the air dodge, though, with another forward smash. And Doc off stage, dangerous spot, good early up B. You could see that Pop Panda was fading down, getting ready to block that recovery.
Yeah, Pop Panda is playing a little bit aggressively right now, recognizing that his opponent really wants to camp him with those pills. Yep, he's going to hit the hydrant up into him and try to fall back, use that apple for some good aerial coverage. Yeah, here's the thing about Doc, though. It is so hard to trade out those hits. However, if you outspace his up smash, he does have a bit of end lag on that. The up smash will be coming in for Pop Panda. He's back in it. A couple forward airs. And just a hasty retreat, getting that Galactica on deck. All right, he's got one. A couple damage hits. 57%, 67, and climbing. Has taken the stock lead back. However, he's still at a disadvantage in terms of the stock race, considering how much of a lead Emery and Henry's at right now.
Good pill into up air there. And yeah, these pills are just doing so much work here. Good parry. That's going to lead to a grab. Can he get anything off of this? Potentially an edge guard. The up air again. Look at the spacing around that. That was surely a stock if Pop Panda lands that aerial, but the up air sneaking underneath and away gets him back to safety, and he's going to get another stock off the back of it. The setup there was beautiful.
The whole match has been recognizing that Pop Panda has been neutral getting up, not going for any get-up attacks or rolls. And since you're pinned on a platform, that Mario forward air is absolutely a terrifying thing to contend with, considering how much space it covers.
97 now, 107. And I guess the stock, forget percents, forward smash will just do the trick. So last stock apiece here, but still, Pop Panda needs to stay alive in this one to keep the central main chances of getting this first set alive. And so far, not very easy to do. You can tell that they're, searching, looking for a way in to maybe get a combo string going. They got the apple once more. They'll drop it just to get that percent, but everything is just being evenly matched here.
I love how Hispanard is positioning these pills. He's hopping from levels. He's hopping on top of the platform. Now he's jumping above the platform. Now he's actually underneath the platform and shooting it from the ground level. He's constantly making Hispanard try to reposition himself as well. So he's not going to be able to get as easy of a time to charge those bonus fruits. Right now, though, he's got his opponent off stage at the ledge. He's just going to retreat underneath that hydrant. And here's the other thing. Pill is so good around hydrant because it can bounce over it, it can go under it, and cover those odd angles too. And frankly, right now, that grab is exactly what the doctor ordered for Pop Panda, but he needs to get a kill right here or it might just be over.
It feels like Hispanard is also... Ooh, actually, hold on. Hold that thought as look at this edge guard coming through. Up B, does he get... Oh, he forwards him back. No. He was going to fade. He might have been able to catch that trampoline. It would have been close, but the forward air gives him a second chance at life here. and a huge stock maybe. Look at the tension as they both hold shield, not wanting to take the risk. The orange is going to land though. They'll be back to the ledge. Good air dodge around, and now the situation is reversed, but can Doc easily edgeguard Pac-Man? Not from here, they can't. The up smash not going to be able to do it. Back throw, is this enough? Not quite yet.
We had to burn that tornado early, uses double jump high. Excellent recognition there from his Spaniard, recognizing that Pop Panda was going to go low for a low out edge guard. Gonna clank with that hydrant, and the apple into it is going to be keeping the hopes alive for Central Maine Community College. Pop Panda has this team on his back, currently has taken 4. And he's got to take 3 more in order to secure a victory, but he's only got 1 stock left, Soy.
Yeah, 1 stock is going to make it rough, but I've said it before, I'll say it again. This is a game where you only need 1 stock sometimes, and so far, Pop Panda has been putting in the work here, and that got very scary very quickly for both players. But I loved, overall what we saw from both players in terms of the adaptability, right? You saw that his Spaniard was, using the pills and using it as a setup, right? Just kind of using it as an approaching wall of projectiles and using that to move in on really Pac-Man's own wall, that hydrant. But at the end of the day, the hydrant stands tall enough, and the apple into the hydrant is what did the trick. But it's taking really a lot of effort here for Pop Panda to be able to work his team back into a position where they can win, right? It feels like even in that matchup, he's got to work hard to, space around those pills in the first place, and then, find a position where he can get a forward smash read to be able to take a stock. Here is going to be, I think, a pretty similar case. He's got another wall of projectiles to deal with in that forward air from the side of Mr. Game & Watch.
Right. He's got, there's that forward air. You also got up air, which means you're not going to be safe in the sky like you're quite used to as Pac-Man sometimes. I do believe that up air will clank with Hydrant, so Hydrant's hitbox will be canceled on the way down. Here's the other thing. Engaging with those projectiles is going to be a lot more difficult as well. And if you have your opponent on the ground, going for Pac-Man's usual pressure strings won't be as useful either, because that uppy out of shield is so devastating and so difficult to get any meaningful combos off of.
So far even, though, through the first 30 seconds, and now you see the forward air start to come out. That neutral B of Game & Watch also going to clank with a couple of the projectiles, or at least deny Pop Panda a chance at, kind of following up. He'll be able to shield that first jab though, but that wow, I thought there was going to be a much heavier punish there, but I think Pop Panda just got away with one there.
Yeah, I don't think his Spaniard exactly recognized that was what the interaction was going to look like, but hey, you know what? Can't be too upset about that. Got a little bit of extra damage on the board. Plus, you have 3 stocks to work with. You don't really need to play too downhill at this. I kind of like the pace he's going for here. Yes, maybe he could be getting a little bit more damage here and there, and I think Pop Panda's doing a good job of spacing around his opponent, but frankly, Alex Swaggers has a bit of a chance to get more damage in here on this first stock, so we need to take it.
Gotta come up with something here. Not a whole lot of use of the up air that we were talking about, but look at this. Holds the down B for too long, gets grabbed for it. Won't be able to do too much, and won't be able to make it back to stage. The down air beat out the up B, and all of a sudden, first stock is gone.
He got the iframes perfectly on that. Yep, falling there into dash attack, good for 22%. And he does have the Galactica on deck. The combo will continue. No, he will not. He will actually disengage. But he's going to wait for that whiff punish, get a little bit of extra nickel and dime damage. And this is where it gets really scary. As Game & Watch, you are the 2nd or 3rd lightest character in the game. I believe you're actually tied for 3rd with Squirtle, if I'm not mistaken.
Certainly one of the, one of the lightest. Good reflector.
Hang on, I'm looking
there.
it up.
But it, and you can see now, Pop Panda knows they got to take the stock relatively soon. They don't want to take too much more percent before getting this Game & Watch to their last one here. That dash attack's going to help chip away at stock number 2, but that reflector ever present now. Both players really having to think hard about their options here in neutral, as the apple's going to get gusted away by that hydrant blast, and now maybe something here at the ledge, but
man,
they'll be able to make it back.
Yeah, that F tilt's quite scary if it does hit at the ledge. It sends it a really weird, awkward angle. Not that Pac-Man can't make that back, but still does have some juice on it. I do appreciate how patient Pop Panda's playing here, but oh no, the hydrant! He's gonna jump right into it. It got knocked up in the air because of the apple.
Again, just so much to think about, and he doesn't keep track of where that hydrant is, and now all of a sudden 1 stock apiece here. Still an 88% difference, so very much so in Alex Swagger's favor here. But still, the way Pop Panda has been playing, I mean, he is not taking all that much damage these first 2 stocks in order to bring this one back. Alex Swaggers has a lot of quick kill options. Things like that forward tilt at the ledge could be very dangerous here, so Pop Panda's got to be very careful. They're throwing out a lot of these projectiles, and that down B, it's actually been a little bit more of a curse here than a blessing for the side of Alex Swaggers, but maybe something here at the ledge. Grab. They get the forward throw back off stage once more.
You gotta keep in mind, both these characters are Confirmation Kings. And you know what I mean by that is that down smash is going to really easily pair into any other of these strong attacks that we could be seeing Alex Swaggers throw out. Sometimes, though, you don't need a setup. Sometimes you just need a good opener, and it will be the steel chair getting the victory for Emery and Henry. A little bit down to the wire there. Pop Panda taking 5 stocks on his quest to try to make the comeback happen. Wasn't quite able to make it happen. Actually, no, he took 6, didn't he? Yeah, he did. I think
Almost brought it all the way back. Yeah, it was 6. It was
6, yeah.
7 to 3 when he started that comeback, and just fell a little bit flat. But yeah, I mean, that's one of the problems when fighting a Game & Watch, right? There's so many quick tilt options that this character has. The defense of this character is really good, and Pac-Man, you can get strings on him, you can kill relatively early, but getting to that point can be very, very difficult, and it feels like Pop Panda just kind of ran out of time in that series.
Absolutely. The pressure at the end, you got to feel against Game & Watch too. You know, he could down smash you and then that's your game. You know, he can hit you with one of his crazy tilts and that's probably your game. You know, I need to deal damage to him, but if I touch his shield, he up-Bs me. What do I do about this? So again, there's really no good answer for dealing with that question that is Mr. Game & Watch. And on top of that, he is an exceptional character for dealing with zoners. His counter zoning is among the best in the entire game. You have setup tools like that forward air. If they're trying to stall in the air above you, got the up air that you really don't need to commit too much to use. You got a couple of poking moves like that F tilt in the back air. And on top of that, you have Bucket. And Bucket in general is just a zoner's worst nightmare.
And you could see Pop Panda try and work around that aspect, right? With, once a projectile got reflected, they would, try and parry it or, get their shield up in time. But they would also use things like the hydrant and the apple bounce to bait the reflector and then get a grab off of the back of it. And while getting a grab as Pac-Man is, well, it's good, it's something, it's an opening, but there's not too much really I think Pac-Man can do off of that grab, especially when he was able to get it in the first place. Outside of, say, I think he got the back throw on stock number 2 to kind of get that second stock off the board, but still, it's an opening that was Pop Panda was able to create, but it's about getting there in the first place, right? You've got to bait him into using that move, and that's really difficult to do.
Definitely, man. I think Pop Panda did a good job of baiting. He was like, "Oh, I'm gonna throw a random projectile above his head, run up while he's in bucket, and go for grabs because grabs are like the best way to deal damage against this character." And he did a fine enough job, but gonna need to see a little bit more out of him if he wants his team to win set 2, which will be coming up shortly.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where these two teams kind of go from here. If there's going to be any lineup changes. Again, these, I believe, are kind of the starting 3 for each side, for each school. I don't think there's too many substitutes per side here. But as we get ready for set number 2, we are seeing a little bit of a character swap here. You see Alex Swaggers, that Game & Watch is rocking the Cloud this time around, and they are not messing around for the side of Central Maine. Pop Panda going right back at it.
And both these guys charging their moves right off the bat. Limit on the side of Alex Swaggers. And Pop Panda's going to get his Galactica on deck here, too. So here's the thing you got to keep in mind. I believe Alex Swaggers might be going for the Game & Watch as a counter pick. If he's going to be opting for the Cloud this time around, I would imagine this is his main character. So it's going to be a little bit of a different pace, different tempo for Pop Panda to try to work around. But leading Pop Panda, a bit of a brazen decision, wouldn't you say, Soy?
Yeah, I mean, the way that he was playing, I don't mind the decision at all, though. It's, go with the player that's playing the hottest, and right now, that has been Pop Panda, but so we'll have to see what he's able to do here. Alex Swaggers on this Cloud, so far keeping things even, but you were talking about the, change of pace. Cloud's certainly a much faster character, and it feels like that pace is Well, so far, Pop Panda's been able to adjust to it. The fact that it's a little bit, faster motion, a lot more of these up Bs out of shield being thrown out by Alex Swaggers than we saw from that Game & Watch. But so far, Pop Panda in a world of hurt as he gets tracked down by the back air, and that's stock number 1 gone.
Unlike Mr. Game & Watch, Cloud really likes to play downhill with his butt-broken moves. Game & Watch kind of turtles a little bit, waits for you to touch him before he goes for his down smash, his up B, etc. Cloud, he's got a really long, disjointed back air that's particularly safe, that's really, really fast, it's spammable. He can hit your shield with it, no problem. He's essentially doing the opposite of what Game & Watch would. However, a perfect read on the jump coming in from Pop Panda. The shield drop coming from Alex Swaggers will be caught, and will be taking the stock away. Even game here going into stock number 2.
Remember, every stock here for Pop Panda feels even more massive the way that his teammates got shut down in that first opening set. So Alex Swagger's taking 1, a very good sign, but now we'll have to see who can get the advantage here in stock number 2. I just feel like these combos that we're seeing from Alex Swaggers are seemingly out of the blue on Pop Panda, and also just the damage output that we see from Cloud. Just every hit sounds so much more threatening, so much more damaging, and if they're able to keep up these conversions, you gotta feel like Swaggers has the momentum on his side.
That's the thing about Cloud. Unless your name is Spargo, you really don't have an opportunity to go for a lot of long-winded combos. But, I will say Alex Swagger's doing an incredible job of just getting those hits in where he can, using his big disjointed hitboxes to his advantage. Using that forward air as an engaging tool and then a follow-up tool in that back air. He's doing a really good job of zoning out Pac-Man, who really, really wants to open you up and then get in while he wants to deal that damage. Unfortunately, though, for Alex Swaggers, that F smash will be falling out. I think, his F smash hit percentage from Pop Panda is a little bit too good. He uses it as an anti-air tool sometimes too, which is actually crazy.
Just catching so many landings with it, right? You gotta land on the stage at some point, and the spacing of Pop Panda to kind of position himself for those forward smashes really strong, and because of that, he's got the lead here on the second stock, and wow, the turnaround up B is just faster. Pop Panda can't get the punish there. He's surviving at 170, but is this kill? No, not quite yet. 180 now, and he'll recover low once more. No grab this time, just barely outspaced yet again. Pop Panda, though, will die to that back air. We're down to last stocks.
Yeah, and that's not a very good thing for Central Maine. Pop Panda played far and away the best on that team, and having him at this low stock count for the remainder of the set, even if he wins here, it's a Pyrrhic victory.
It really is. 92% here for Alex Swaggers to the 58 of Pop Panda. And what projectile will he opt for? Pop Panda's done really a good job of using that apple. It's kind of been a trademark for him in particular. Not really seen too many of those oranges or other of Pac-Man's projectiles being used all that frequently. I don't even think we've seen him charge to the key yet throughout all 3 of the sets that he's been in so far. That shield's getting awfully low here. He's going to get poked on that neutral B, but now there's the key. The second I talk about it, he must be listening, as he's going to be able to get a little bit of an opening, but not too much off the back of it here. Got to be very careful at these percents.
Oh, wow, run-up grab as Cloud is a really brazen move there, but it just worked out for Alex Swaggers. He's still living. 132% to his name. That means he's also got a little bit of extra rage. That backer at the ledge is going to be lethal at this percent, I think. Woo, baby! Yonder almost killed. He kissed that ceiling.
It was so close, and now it really comes down to the last hit between these two. They need something strong. Down tilt on that hydrant. It's going to fade away, though. Shields the back air. And the air dodge there. Panicking, knowing that back air could come out very quickly and could mean the stock. He'll roll away from the grab as well. But the dash attack is too quick, and that will be Pop Panda going down to Alex Swaggers once more.
Dash attack, max rage on Cloud with your opponent at 120%. That is a match made in heaven. Oh yeah, on PS2. By the way, one of the lowest ceilings in the game. Big moves there for Alex Swaggers, taking the head off of the crown. Taking the crown off the head from, let's just move on. One stock left for Alex Swaggers. An incredible job on that Cloud. Again, I think the Game & Watch might have been a decision to possibly try to catch a counter pick onto Pop Panda. And, you know, Pop Panda really wasn't having it. He was a little bit more favored in the matchup. Outswaggers, if he didn't have 3 stocks, might not have fared so well. But this time, as his main character, was able to go even all the way up until the very end and then just eke out Pop Panda. So, ball is in Central Main's court yet again. Another Final Fantasy VII rep, one of the 2 in this game, putting a lot of pressure on Central Main at the start of both of these sets.
Yeah, and it's interesting too. Again, these 2 players keeping it very close with each other in a very kind of different way from that last set that we saw. And part of that is the nature of the characters, right? But also, I just think that Alex Swagger's in the kind of panicky situations in the scramble mode where it gets to be last hit, you gotta favor the characters that have just kind of more kill tools in their kit that you can throw out quickly. Cloud, very fast. That sword, it does a lot of damage. There's so much that you got to worry about as Pop Panda. And at the end of the day, the dash attack just barely able to get the job done. Even Pop Panda, he's using a lot of his resources too, right? I mean, I mentioned how he had to, use the key for the first time in that series. He had to use the hydrant setups, the apple setups. He's going through all of the projectiles and the shield. I mean, how frequently was he having to use his shield on the far side of the stage, and it was still getting chunked down to the size of an M&M? I mean, he had to work so hard to keep that close, and now, unfortunately, taken out here in set number 2. One of these next 2 players, be it Gray stepping in here, will have to step up for the side of Central Main.
I do believe it will be Gray. Pikachu's not a terrible character against Cloud. I do think Cloud has a more favorable matchup against Pikachu than a lot of other top tiers do. Thing is, Cloud's just got some really good defensive options that up B out of shield, which we know Alex Swaggers likes to really throw out every now and then. It's not B out of shield, but it's also disjointed. So if someone's like trying to run up to you and poke you, you're just going to outright beat them because the Buster Sword is quite long in its own right. I think Joker's fine here. Good edge guarding coming in from Central Main as well. You have Arsene as a fallback plan, a contingency, if you will. But on top of that, you still have a host of other players coming in from Emery and Henry. You've got Dr. Mario floating around somewhere and potentially a Sephiroth as well. And, maybe some other counter picks going in there as well. But it looks like Gray will be coming back in for Central Main Community College. It's a different character. The Aegis will be making an appearance.
Yeah, so Gray went Pikachu in that first set, and now they're opting for the DLC of Aegis coming in here. So we'll have to see how they are able to do on PS2 this time around. 2 stocks off the board of Alex Swaggers, but it's, your classic swordy battle of both with some speed, and we'll have to see who comes out on top. I feel like Cloud, the fact that, again, Cloud just hits so heavy, could do massive damage to Gray if they get in. But on the other hand, I feel like the game plan for Gray on a character as fast as Mythra is just get this Cloud off stage where they can really struggle.
Problem is, though, those disjointed hitboxes do stick out for quite a while as Cloud. Now, I've made this comparison a number of times. I want to hear what you think about it, Soy. I would say that Cloud is like the perfect marriage of both the strengths of Pyra and Mythra. Mythra very fast, really good combo game. Not a lot of damage potential though. Pyra on the other side of things, long sword, not very fast, but does a ton of damage with some really good kill power. And unfortunately, I think Cloud just does both of those things a lot better than both of them do. With Mythra, Pyra Mythra, their Sanchain's character, you get the best of both worlds. Really good combo game, really fast, and then you have really high kill power, but not a lot of speed. Cloud, he's got speed, he's got really good disjoints, and he's got a ton of damage as well. So I think he kind of just works at both of their niches and does it better, in all honesty.
I agree with you. I think it's, where Pyra and Mythra are opposite ends of the scale, and Cloud is kind of the even middle ground where you can, kind of piece it together a little quicker than, say, on the flip side with Aegis, right? You got to either take your speed or take your damage, or it's kind of declared. Whereas Cloud, you can kind of be a little bit sneakier in a sense. But here we see the switch to Pyra now. Down air, up smash. Wow, got around it, and the forward tilt's just going to do the trick. And all of a sudden, it's last stock apiece.
It wasn't quite true with that much rage. The up air probably would have been better there. It might not have killed, but it would have at least done some damage. And, yep, the F smash is going to come in. Good read from Gray. I'm sure Pop Panda taught him that one. The anti-air, or the F smash to catch the landing. And, couldn't have gotten Alex Swaggers out of the picture soon enough. currently has taken 5 stocks, 5 heads for his 3. Gray is on their last stock. There are 4 stocks remaining for Central Maine. But Gray is holding on for dear life here.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll have to see who they will be going up against next. I feel like, last time we were in this position, we saw Hispanerd come in on that Dr. Mario. And I feel like that might be the play again, just because, again, you only need to take 1 stock, and Doc's got a lot of kill power. Pyramithra is certainly on the lighter side of the cast, especially that Mithra that's going to be used at kind of these earlier percents. If you want to get a bit risky with it, I feel like that might be the play, but maybe there's another comfort pick or something along those lines in the cards here for the side of Emery and Henry. But Gray, good job to take the first player off the board. Now let's see how much you can get off the back of it.
So I'm actually going to disagree with you on your assessment, my friend. Don't take it personally. I don't think the Doc should be coming in here against Pyramithra. Yeah, I do think Hispanerd is able to get those early stocks particularly well. Hill's going to be really good for coverage, but Pyramithra, they are swords at the end of the day. Dr. Mario, he is very, very allergic to characters with disjoints. Now, I think Hispanerd might be coming in because he thinks, you know what, we're in a decent position here. We have a good lead here. I could take away this last hit, if a down throw at 60% at the ledge. So it is very possible, but I'm interested just to see who. Oh, Kazuya. All right.
Oh boy! No, he baited us. He baited us once more.
By the way, I do love Kazuya. If Kazuya came in, I would have been like, yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, it's interesting though. I mean, so part of the reason I said Hispanerd might come in here is because of that kill power. Because I think of Doc as a what's a good way to put it? In crew battles, I feel like heavies have this kind of ability to just. They're like a security blanket of sorts.
Oh, yeah.
And Doc isn't really a heavy, but he has that kind of heavy kill power, right?
Right.
And if you only need that stock to, if you only need to take 1 to just, eliminate a player, that feels like the play. That being said, a complete character switch up might be in the cards here. It looked like the Wii Fit was going to be locked in potentially for this set instead. And that would be very different. I mean, Wii Fit's not one that I feel like actually we see a lot of Wii Fit here at Esports U, but the different styles that they go through are kind of interesting to see.
It pretty much boils down to, do you know your combo strings or do you not? If you do, you're probably going to be going for deep breathing, rush down, try to get a grab, and then go for Nair shenanigans. And then from there, you go for Nair into up smash. But if you don't know your combos, all right, hang out the ledge, side B. Whenever they're trying to approach you, go for that neutral B. It's pretty much just that, and it's a bit of a learning curve, particularly on Wi-Fi, to try to deal with the soccer ball that she can throw out with her side B. And you can hit it back at her, sure, but can you really? If you think about it, at the end of the day. Either way, we're gonna be getting into this one.
Hitting back the soccer ball is easier said than done, right?
Particularly
one of
in
those
this
theories. So we'll have to see how they play here. Hispanerd is stepping in. This was the Doc that we saw in round 1, and it's going to be the Wii Fit for round number 2 here. Needing to take 1 stock off of this Pyramithra to get Central Maine to their last player here. I'll be interested to see if there's a, convenient answer here for Gray to things like the soccer ball. Deep breathing automatically used right off of the bat. And now the combo game of Mithra might be in the play here, but not too much, honestly. And now look at the damage to chase down Hispanerd. They're looking for the reads.
I will say deep breathing is the best of every comeback mechanic in the game. You get a little bit of not residual healing. You get a little bit of healing off the board. You take less damage, you're faster, you deal more damage, you have more kill power. It is an insane tool to use for this character. It's one of the reasons why she's, pretty firmly in that upper echelon of the tier list. But no one really knows just how far she can go because we haven't seen that opportunity. Now, yeah, you can't make that. Go for the up air just for a little bit of disrespect. It looks like, yeah, second up air from the ledge will be Shanghaiing Central Maine in a position where they have 3 stocks to 6. Where have we seen this one before?
A little bit of deja vu, but we'll get ready for that set momentarily. But it does mean that Hispanerd is going to be locked in on the Wii Fit this time around. So we'll have to see how they do in this potentially final set coming in. Gosh, I'm blanking already on who the last player for
it was
Central
Gamer
Maine
Boy
is.
Cutie.
Right, it was the Joker
Yeah.
player. Right. So, assuming that's who they lock in here, Joker versus Wii Fit is a very oddball one to my knowledge, just
Anything
because
that
the
has Wii
damage
Fit in it,
output is
man.
insane.
Yeah. I will say that, for a character like Wii Fit, being off stage is kind of where you want to be. You want to be either flanking or shooting in your side Bs from off stage to try to trip up your opponent. And I will say, if Gamer Boy Cutie gets a good read with Joker, with a down air potentially, maybe even a back air, yeah, things could be a little bit bleak for Hispaniard. But I also got to shout out Hispaniard for consistency in the characters that they like to play as, because these are both medical professionals. Wii Fit trainer, personal trainer. For those of you who aren't quite aware of that, she's there for your personal wellness. And on top of that, you got Dr. Mara, who's a literal physician. So Hispaniard, he is here to promote general wellness for the human populace, and I quite like that. Also, I don't know if that's entirely true. I'm just spitballing here, but it seems like he likes to stay on theme at the very least.
He's certainly promoting the general wellness of his team, the way he's taking these stocks off the board. So he's certainly keeping up the morale there for the side of Emery and Henry. And we'll have to see how he does in this final set. Gamer Boy Cutie is going to be locked in as that third member for the side of Central Maine Community College. So the question is, do you switch off that Joker? I feel like the Joker's got to be the tried and true play here.
Yeah. Joker's a good character, man. Like, honestly, he has like one bad matchup, and it's Pikachu, frankly, and he doesn't even do too badly in that one. Steve, Steve's a menace if you see one. Or Lucina, okay, Lucina, I like Lucina too. You get a bit of a disjoint on your sword. That's helpful, particularly in this matchup where you're trying to hit back that soccer ball. Good edge guarding. Lucina kind of struggles to kill on occasion, but frankly, decent approach tools as well. I could definitely see this counter pick working out for Gamer Boy Cutie, and he's just trying to do something.
So far, playing a little patient. Maybe wasn't sure if they were going for the neutral start or not. Either way, we're fully into it now here on Battlefield. And last chance here for Central Maine. They got to come out with a W here to try and extend this series. Hispaniard trying to end things. If they're able to do so, they'll walk away with a 2-0 victory. Interestingly enough, Emery and Henry, that first set win against Central Maine was their first win of the year in terms of taking a set. They'd been locked out the first 2 weeks, and Hispaniard looking to get to it here, looking to try and make the shutout happen. They get another stock off that forward smash, a strong one at that, and Gamer Boy Cutie could be in a world of trouble here as now, look at this, the chase down happening, and they get deep breathing online as well.
I love falling upper hitbox of forward air into F tilt that we've been seeing Hispaniard do a couple games in a row. It's not a combo I see every day, and I'm actually just really happy that's a good low percent starter, but unfortunately, a little bit of an early uppie will be sending Central Maine to their last stock here. Gamer Boy Cutie cascading down to the bottom blast zone here, and Hispaniard with a little bit of extra damage with that deep breathing. It has dissipated, only getting about 15% on this stock, but both hits, the header hit as well as the soccer ball hit, doing about 25% onto Gamer Boy Cutie.
Very odd trade there, but one that Hispaniard will absolutely take, because they're going to be on the ledge now. 122, and you got to feel like maybe this stock is working on borrowed time, but then again, Wii Fit Trainer with Rage, maybe Gamer Boy Cutie's in a world of hurt here, and deep breathing now. Like you said, they get the back throw here, 82%. They don't catch the jump. They go for the down air. Up B should be able to get them back to stage, but ooh, the down-angled side B, if they had done the just forward angle, I think that was the stop.
Oh, no.
They get the tech read, maybe? No, not quite, just barely off target.
Hispaniard's played safe. Oh, read that air dodge super well, but the tilt won't come out. That rage kill, and you have the attempt at a dash dance, I think, from Gamer Boy Cutie will be coming in as well. Forward throw, gonna get them off stage. Gonna try to go for a header spike, will not get it though. Just remain recognizing that they need to go high to recover here.
Forward tilt, knocking them off stage. Neutral B is not going to be able to do the trick quite yet. Hispaniard threatening. Not being able to find a grab quite yet.
Oh wow! How did that grab miss? What? That was from in close and still unable to find it. And now you're starting to see Gamer Boy Cutie get a little bit more damage, but forward air not gonna be able to take the stock quite yet. They get around the soccer ball, and the battle for stage control continues. But now they go to the edge guard. Maybe something here. Challenging Wii Fit off stage is dangerous.
It is. This is her environment. She loves the plank. She loves to be on stage 4. There she do it. 4. Wrong sport. Never mind. That's a service ace coming in for his Spaniard. Second set. Pulled up. Was able to take 6 stocks. 6. Wait, no, 7. No, it was 6.
Yes, 6.
Wait, no. It wasn't 6.
Oh,
sorry. I'm gonna throw a challenge flag on that one. It was actually. Let me see. So Alex, he took 4 because Alex Swagger took 5.
Right.
I can do math, dude. I'm going to college for communications. All right, it's not for engineering or whatever. Anyway, that will conclude the set today. I do believe we're going to be going to an interview. Correct me if I'm wrong, production, but very very solid showing. First win for Emery and Henry this year, led by his Spaniard.
Yeah, solid stuff overall. I mean, they were able to clutch out both sets. It got scary in that first one, but the players stepped up when they needed to. Really, everyone on this team, Hispaniard in particular, with the way they were able to close things out, but also Alex Swaggers, the way that they were playing on both the Game & Watch and the Cloud, 2 very different styles, and they were still able to come out with W's today. It feels like this is a good kind of momentum builder, a stepping stone for the side of Emery and Henry.
Yep, first win for these guys. It will be Central Maine still looking for theirs, possibly next week, next Monday. Stay right here. But in the meantime, we're going to be grabbing a player to interview. Don't go nowhere. We got a hard-hitting conversation coming on our return. We'll see you soon.
Just to see it now in literally within the last 5 years probably really come to fruition and start just blossomed out of nowhere, and now becoming a space and seeing everyone, schools, players, productions, companies all elevate together has been really, really nice to see. But if I was the most excited for one thing, it would probably be the city where we're going to land for CECC 23. I'm really excited to know where we're going to be. There's a lot of great cities. I mean, I personally would love for it to come to New York, despite whether we got a positive bid or not. I want it to come to New York, but I just think the atmosphere in New York when you throw an event here is just super magical, especially in the summertime. But either way, I'm really excited to see where it lands. Tons of great cities, tons of great opportunities, and who knows? And I think that's going to be the most exciting process for me.
Absolutely. I won't speak to anything. I think I'm filling Paulie's job in this one because Paulie's more a panelist than this one. So, normally Paulie's the host, and I don't know. I think me personally, I'll just say something real quick. I'm just excited to keep telling your stories. If you're a student, if you're a program, let me know. Let us, reach out to us. We just ultimately, at the end of the day, we want to tell your story. And I think that's what has me most excited, because now I think we're getting to a point where people know us. I hope you guys trust us, and and we just want to keep expanding and growing the space. So with that, Paulie, I won't make you do the weird thing where you got to toss to yourself, unless you want to do that. I don't know. Actually, you might have a way of doing this. Let's test it. Yeah. Okay. How do you want to throw to yourself here?
Well, that's going to conclude here the future of collegiate with CSMG and Esports U. Thank you so much to Angela, Mike Blewett, and Kyler Tandle for hosting our panel. And now back to myself for the day 3 of the CSMG Coaches and Director Summit 2022.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the ECAC Top Plays of the Week. I am Septilance, and I'm super excited to walk through these with you so you can see all of the great moments we are getting out of collegiate esports. One of my favorite things about these seasons is as they go on, as the years continue to pass, the skill ceiling just gets higher and higher, and the teams get better and better. Starting things off in week 1 and 2, these teams came out the gate swinging. Let's take a look at what they were ready to bring out in these early weeks. Valorant is a game all about risk versus reward, and Sin from NYIT wanted to show us just how much he was willing to risk to get that great reward of a round win.
forced to pop off, maybe get a little bit more sniper play, but these direct tight angles make it tough. You have Axorus that actually gets a wall bang headshot onto Prime. Oh, that timing on the paranoia works so well.
Yo, give it up for the util, bro. Sin's gonna pick up 3 into the site. It's a lurk on its way from the chamber, but unless you're gonna spam through this box, you're not getting anything done, and Panda won't even let him get that far.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is a game that can be decided in milliseconds, and Waka, one of the best players from SUNY Canton A Squad, wanted to show us just what they can do with only a second and a single stock on the board.
Cena, Sledge option going to be charging forward smash, going a little early. They're not quite getting what you want. Drop shield after first hit of pick, getting hit by the kick. High percent. There is the stun into Claw. That Claw could have been charged for a lot longer. Oh my goodness, that's a forwarder into stage with the stage spike and then upping immediately after. What a sick.
1 point in Rocket League can never make a team feel comfortable, but Driftsy wanted to show us that not only was he going to pick the pace up, but he wasn't going to let his team down.
Defensive test with flying colors, though they couldn't get out, and that is the important part at the moment. Clears a must for UA, and it's just not in the cards at the moment.
Dripsy connects off the backboard. What a shot. I watched it unfold slowly. You stopped speaking at just the right moment.
Valorant is often called a team-based shooter, but sometimes it can't just be about the team. Sometimes you gotta have those hero plays. Spec wanted to spray and pray and was actually able to save the day for SVSU, tying up the series 7-7.
Hard B push here, 2 Omen smokes coming out. 1, Spec just finds 3. What? Spraying through the smoke? Oh, 1 Spec, that's not legal, man. That's not legal. This is match day 2 of the ECAC League. You can't be doing that right now. Spec just goes with the call.
Here in this clip, Fanshawe finds themselves with their backs against the wall, 20 seconds left on the clock, and they're desperate to take down Wake Forest. They don't have anything to get through this team, they don't have any weapons on the field, but with Jackie Moon in the wings, at least they had a sniper.
Apparently. Guys gonna believe all the shots. Oh, a sniper! Jackie Moon from about midway through. What a shot right here from Jackie.
Wow, good eye sniper. Yes, sir. Jackie Moon puts us on the right side. A little bit more to the left. This one would have been...
Here in this clip, we're going to get a great moment from a Pac-Man, and as a Pac-Man player, I was super excited to see it. We're going to hear a lot of praise from our commentators giving Mosey those compliments of choosing Snake against Pac-Man, a great counter pick. They were super excited to see a Snake on the field, but even without their blessing, Trollery does not yield.
Approach, but like you said, he's trying to play this safe because losing his stock right now for Concord would be really bad. And, well, a little bit of commentator's curse there. We kind of willed that one into existence. Oh, man. Oh my goodness! What?
Now I know what you're thinking. Oh, Septilence, how could that be all we got from weeks number 1 and 2? Please tell me there's more. If you like what you saw, you've got to go check out ECAC Esports on all social media platforms. Please see what they're bringing to the table. It is great collegiate esports week after week. And on the bright side, folks, this is just the beginning. We've got the whole rest of what is guaranteed to be a great season ahead of us. Thank you so much for joining me for this recap, and I'll see you on the next one.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Collegiate Esport Commissioners Cup. I am Septilence, and I get a really neat opportunity here. We get to interview Burns from E-United. Burns, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. We're on day 2 of the event. It's been a fantastic one. I ran into you yesterday, but we were running around like chickens with our heads off, and it has been, I mean, how has your time been here? What has this event kind of been like?
Yeah, it's great. I just love being in a passion pit, seeing all the college kids go at it. Reminds me of like an old school MLG event almost, but being like in the epicenter of the passion pit, seeing Rocket League, Valorant, Overwatch, and Smash, just it's amazing to see all of these schools compete against each other and get a shot to play on this main stage.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And tell us a little bit about kind of what is E United, right? Because we know that you're here, we know you're here to represent them, but for the people that don't know, what is E United?
Yeah, E United was founded in 2016. We're a professional esports organization. We've been in League of Legends, Overwatch, all the way to Battle Right, I think it was called back in the day. Right now in 2022, we are in Gears of War, Halo, Rocket League, PUBG, and announcing a new title tomorrow. I know, get the small intel here. So it's a lot of fun. I went pro in Call of Duty when I was younger. I ended up playing my last event under E United, switched in 2016, and I've been the GM ever since. So it's a true blessing to be able to stay with an organization for as long as I have, and we love giving back to the collegiate community. I actually graduated from Full Sail in 2013.
I was a little confused about the jersey. I was a little...
Yeah, so the Full Sail boys are out of the tournament, unfortunately, but I decided I would rep them today in their honor. Yeah, it's just great. I love working with younger individuals who are trying to find their path in esports, and these college kids are really showing what they're all about.
Yeah, so to be kind of an ex-pro player, where a collegiate scene at the time didn't exist, especially not to the scale right now, what is it like to see such high levels of success, such high levels of support for something that you weren't able to kind of get as much support in at the time, something that was looked down on a lot more?
Yeah, I'm extremely jealous. That's all I can say. Full Sail started their program in 2017. When I was there in 2011 and 12, it was just a bunch of nerds running around, just creating their own clubs. I was still striving to go pro, but now you have these opportunities to play on main stage, play in front of thousands of people. We just had locals back in the day. You would show up and play for like $200, $100. It was like lunch money. Now these kids are playing for scholarships. They're playing for fame. They could pop off here and end up getting a sponsor for $10,000 or $20,000 from somebody. So the opportunities are just endless at the moment, and I think it's just great that you know, you basically can prove yourself and make anything happen right now.
It's instead of kind of what you had gone through, being in college and also trying to go pro, these kids can try to go pro while being in college. It's hand in hand instead of those two kind of battling kind of matchups. So if somebody's trying to go pro, right, they're like, Burns, I want to be you one day. I want to be the GM of E United one day. What is that first step to really take it from a hobby to a passion, to a job?
Yeah, I think I've told this story a lot, but it's really, I thought about going pro every night before I went to bed. Like, I lived and breathed Call of Duty for years. It was my life. I had to skip dinner sometimes. I had to skip family functions, and my family didn't really understand, but it was what I wanted to do, and it all worked out. But at the end of the day, you always need to kind of be organized. You have to have the ability to not put all of your eggs in one basket. So even though it worked out for me, there are so many opportunities in esports. There's being a caster or interviewing people. There's working in production. There's helping people get waters. Like, literally, there are so many opportunities. So, oh, this crowd's awesome.
They're going crazy, dude. They stayed on their last life right now.
Off subject, Smash, regardless if it's middle school, high school, college, it pops off all the time. I love it.
Well, Burns, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you, guys.
Hello everybody and welcome back to ECAC Plays of the Week, and it's not just any week this time, it is the playoffs. We've got 8 incredible clips and I'm super excited to jump into them. My name's Septilence, I hope you're ready to
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to some more production here at Esports U. I'm Laird, he's Soy. We are experiencing the aftermath of the Emory and Henry College versus Central Maine Community College matchup, where Emory and Henry were able to take a 2-0 win over their opponents. We got a couple of interviewees here. We've got Volcano and Alex Swaggers joining us here. How are you boys feeling? How's the win?
We're feeling good, man.
Feels good. Feels good.
Okay, awesome. First question for you, gentlemen. You know, this is your first win on the season. You think this is a turning point for you guys going forward?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a lot different from last season. I think we won our first 4 games last season, so it was a little bit tough having those first 2 losses, but I think we're about ready to bounce back.
It's always a good sign. So let's talk about this set in particular. For you guys, it was a very close first game for you guys, but we saw a couple of character switches and lineup changes for you guys. Can you talk about the change in mindset between the first set and second set?
Yeah, I guess I'll take that one since I switched. Yeah, I guess for the first round, I start off with Game & Watch, and I didn't really warm up. I've been trying out Cloud a little bit the past few weeks, so I thought I'd give it a try, and it surely worked out in my favor, so it's a good choice on me, I guess.
So, both you guys led your individual sets. Obviously, Volcano came out swinging in the first set, and then we had Alex Waggers, after being able to close out the first set, was our lead for the second set. What do you think the meaning of a good start is to you guys whenever you're the one who's in that first player position?
Well, so this is my first season being in esports, and I know at least last week I also started. I didn't have like the best start. I didn't have the best game. And I feel like, me winning my first 2 games this time and me starting, it really made me like feel confident, like especially after that first game. I was like, oh yeah, maybe I can, take 3 more stocks. So like it felt like that start gave us a lot of momentum throughout the rest of the I guess both sets, because like, we were feeling good after that good start.
Building up that confidence is a good sign. So for your team in particular, can you give us the idea of what the spread of your team looks like in terms of upperclassmen, underclassmen?
Yeah, I think we're all juniors, right?
Yeah, we're all juniors.
So yeah, we all have another year left here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice. So that's a lot. Have you guys been playing for a long period of time? Like how? I guess I'm. Wow, I can't speak. How experienced are you guys in terms of like how long have you been playing the game for?
So I started playing like right before COVID hit in my senior year of high school, and I feel like I started taking it seriously maybe like a year and a half ago, like really wanting to get good, and I just like never really had the results I wanted until recently. So yeah, that's kind of my story.
That's a good sign. I mean, that experience will pay huge dividends later on this season. But you guys have a tough matchup coming up next. You get Five Towns College, I believe. Yes, that's your next matchup. Any kind of insight or kind of prep work that you're going to do for that battle?
Yeah, well, we have some people that are already looking at who they're playing, so we definitely do our scouting before matches just to get as much experience as we can and just to see who we're playing. So we always do a good bit of that.
I'm gonna do what I do best and play Sephiroth.
Exactly.
That's what you like to hear, man. Well, you guys, thank you so much for your time. Do you guys have anyone you want to shout out for your victory today, or anyone you want to pay lip service to?
I mean, the person we got to shout out the most is our coach. I mean, he just pulls out the win out of all of us every time. So big shout out to Colt.
Love him.
Yeah.
Love Colt. He's helped me so much.
All right, man. Well, thank you both for your time tonight. Congratulations on a very impressive victory. I hope you guys can continue it for the rest of the season. I hope to have you on here sometime soon, yeah?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
All right, guys. Hey, have a good night. Congratulations. And with that, guys, that is going to be concluding our interview tonight, as well as our production of Live Esports U production. We're going to be going into the general 24-hour stream situation after this. However, tomorrow you guys should be tuning in at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for the Paideia Cup Women's Valorant Matchmaking Season. Got some really hard-hitting matches coming for you guys then. It's going to be about a 2-hour block of that. And then we have the ECAC Valorant 4th week of competition, which will be fun as well. Got a couple of very, very enjoyable talents who will be taking the mic for us in our stead tomorrow. So you guys want some more esports action? Why don't you stick around for today? Got a lot more VODs from last season coming up soon. But Soy, for yourself, do you have anything you want to say to the people?
I mean, I love doing this week in and week out. Thanks for having us on the mic, and thanks again to production for putting on this fantastic show, and having those graphics is always beautiful stuff. And I love this collegiate esports scene, and I love the growth of it. I mean, these are 2 new schools for us, I believe, right? And just to meet
more and more people. It's fantastic to see.
It's amazing to see people sharing a general hobby that has become a passion, that has become a form of competition, come out and show their stuff for your entertainment. So that is it for us here tonight. Again, shout out to production guy Colt Toon, who has been so wonderful in helping us get prepped for all this stuff. But until next week, we're not going to be having any more Smash until next Monday. But stay tuned. We got Esports U stuff happening all week, as well as some 24-hour highlights for your pleasure. I'm Laird. He's Soy. Have a wonderful night. See you guys around.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss that fact, taking big.
We're at the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup. Let's make some noise. Oh, and it's gonna jumped into it.
Corner judges go for 1, 2, yeah, he needs more.
They're doing even more here. You gotta touch the point. Mr. College walks it in.
Joy Boy is gonna drop.
Knife him.
Right out in front.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1, running.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the ECAC Highlights, week number 8. It has been 8 weeks already, and hey, if you've been watching these on a bit of a binge, you like the new background, brand new first video it's going to be in, super excited to jump into this with you guys. Of course, I'm Septilence, here to walk you through the highlights of week number 8 at the ECAC. We are kicking off strong with clip number 8 here, as it's going to be Tony Pajamas on the NES, Fisher College and NYIT, two of the greatest Smash programs in the country, going head to head, just completely dominant on both sides. But Tony Pajamas got sick of waiting and wanted to give Fisher that leg up once again.
Dying to limit options. They'll push this Piranha Plant away. Can they get back yet again? And up air yet again into the yo-yo, and they'll be caught by the forward air. Tony will take him down.
For clip number 7, we'll be joining CSI and Iona going head-to-head in game number 3. A full-blown best-of-7, both teams a 1 win already under their belts, and somebody needed to walk away with that second win. It's a 3-3 tie-up, less than a minute on the clock, and CSI in these final moments comes back to life to sneak out a game 3 win.
Staten Island, and it gets them tied up. The calculated moves here from both offenses, phenomenal. And that one, I mean, it's not exactly calculated. I mean, yeah, it's calculated, but it's not the prettiest to place the back wall touch there, Flater, but it works. And just like that, CSI's in the lead.
For clip number 6, we're jumping into the beautiful game known as Valorant. Stockton versus SUNY Poly, and Stockton constantly trying to keep that small lead they've held out. Their Jet in particular starts with a very rough round and actually turns it into quite the miracle run to secure them another round win on the side of Stockton.
Looking for the sales. And I think at the moment they've missed the holiday deal. Somnus will find another one. Coupons expired, pocket taken out yet again. That's the cart full of groceries taken down. And the 4K, a no scope to clean it up.
Now, anyone who knows me knows that can be a little bit biased towards Overwatch and how exciting the game can be, but my good friend Big J over at Bethel really brings out a power play for clip number 5 here at the ECAC.
And if you overextend with that Primal, it can cost your team a lot. Bethel is going to have 2 ultimates. Big J going to pop it early, it seems, and he's definitely going to try. It is huge as he puts down the Lucio and the Sojourn to boot. Kiriko not far behind, and Boise removed from this mortal coil.
Do y'all remember clip number 7 of this week? CSI versus Iona. Both teams 1 win already underneath their belts. Well, did anybody wonder how they got there? We're going to jump back into game number 1 and watch as CSI clutches out an incredible victory to start this series off.
2-2, a great demonstration of what both sides are capable of offensively. Is anyone back right now? I don't think so. That's game 1. CSI, take it.
Alright. Alright, Bepik. Okay, just one beat. More than enough for Mux to put that goal in. And Driftsy already ready to make sure it goes in. CSI off the game 1 comeback.
I hope you folks are ready for clip number 3, our bronze medal, because it is a heartbreaker. Things looking great for Concord. They have the numbers, they get onto the point, but they forgot to look at the Roadhog, and Zerial teaches them the hard way just how scary that Roadhog can be.
Has all the ults in the world.
And they do a nice job for Mr. Business, though, to take out Cozy while they were using their... Oh my goodness! Zerial, you're just getting a double kill with a whole hog, pushing people off.
Now, way back in clip number 8, I talked about how good Tony Pajamas from Fisher can truly be when he unlocks his full potential. But folks, you don't have to take my word for it anymore. Check out what this kid does in our silver medal